Welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing whatever the hell we want, because it's 2 cents after dark. If this is your first time here, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. If you're listening to the replay, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting that heart with the $sign, and just letting me know I'm doing a good job and you enjoying the replay. But if you're here right now, live and direct, be sure to help support the channel by hitting the $sign Cash App, 2 cents boxing, or letting me know and dropping it below your 2 cents in a super chat. Shout out to everybody in the building tonight. We got 11 people watching. I should have 11 likes. Make sure y'all punch the like button. We're going to let some people pull up in here tonight. Y'all know how it go. I might not even be on here till 12 tonight. Depends on how the conversation going. I might be on here or get off here early, late. I don't know. Shout out to everybody. So, what's been going on in boxing? It's a lot of boxing going on, but it seems like things are so slow. Does anybody feel like that? Well, they mad at Clarissa Shields for saying she won't Baumgartner and Dubois on her undercard. They mad at her for that. Crazy work, crazy work. Let's see what else we got. A lot of talks about Shakur Stevenson. He was up, one of the hot topics from today. Let me try to find these clips so we can give our 2 cents about what Shakur Stevenson is talking about. Conor Benn, a lot of talks about Conor Benn, but the talks about Conor Benn are really just like, I feel like everybody is like looking at Conor Benn like who are you? I feel like everybody looking at Conor Benn like, who are you? Like, you just came out of nowhere. You first of all, you're known for being a drug cheat. That's really why people know Conor Benn, because you got caught taking drugs. You tried to say it was eggs. And I think that's really, especially here in the U.S., why he has a popularity and a lot of people know him. And then you went viral because Chris Eubanks smacked the snot out of you with an egg before y'all fight. I mean, I know his dad is Nigel Benn and he a Nepo baby and all of this other stuff. But I mean, from his own merit, the things, when you think about Conor Benn, I think about eggs and Chris Eubanks smacking the brakes off him with them eggs. When I think about Conor Benn, I don't think nothing. I think like, I don't understand why he was so good. People thought he was so good. And then once he got popped with the eggs, it's like people just were still rocking with him. So I feel like I'm forced to talk about Conor Benn, but he is a hot topic. So we talk about hot topics on here, and Conor Benn is a hot topic. Not for the reasons people think, but he's allegedly has agreed to fight Ryan Garcia next. So that'll probably be the fight we'll see next. I just don't know. What's up, Mr. Greg? What's up, Gap 2 Games? What up, Lee Jackson? Quee in the building. Cash Crypto. Ramon Sifu. Thrill Hill. All things. What up, y'all? Now, it's more people watching than there's writing in the chat. If you just listening, just type what's up so I can know you here. Know you listening. Just type what's up. That's it. Or just put a 1 in the chat. Like, I want to know who listening. Right? Don't I want to know who listening? So, apparently he's next for Ryan Garcia. I mean, it is what it is. They're going to make the fight. But Regis Prograis says something interesting. I was watching the interview with Regis Prograis, and he said when he was at the press conference and stuff that nobody was even cheering for Conor Benn. He said people was cheering for him, but nobody was cheering for Conor Benn. What's up, Paige? What's up, Lee Jackson? Listen. Regis said when he was at the press conferences, nobody was cheering for Conor Benn, but they were cheering for him. Now, I want y'all to hear what I'm saying, because I'm going to bring it back full circle. You're going to be like, dang. Y'all know that meme when old dude be having his mouth open and he be looking back and forth? So, think about that for a second. Now, and people keep saying, oh, Conor Benn is a star in the UK. He a star in the UK. I always questioned it. Look at Bubs. Bubs say, here 2 cents. Just have to sleep. I work tonight, but I'm listening and we'll jump in if things get crazy. Bubs say, gonna come in and get on y'all ass. Y'all get the tripping. And we all know people don't like Tyson Fury in the UK. So I'm wondering, how does Tyson Fury get the main event? I mean, I know how Tyson Fury get the main event, right? And Conor Benn gets the co-main event on Netflix when they're not even stars in their own freaking country. How is it that Regis saying it was quiet, man? Nobody was cheering for Conor Benn. Why are they there? Do they like boxing that much? They just gonna go because it's people fighting? They just gonna go because it's people fighting? But I don't know. But remember when I told y'all that there was a plan to destroy the American market and that there was a plan to get all of the American stars out of boxing, to devalue them, to lower their value? Remember I was telling y'all all about that plan? The Black American stars. Remember I was telling y'all about that plan? Like it's a plan to devalue and bring down all the Black American stars in boxing. And keep in mind, we had Tyson Fury and Conor Benn as the main and co-main event on Netflix. So let's run down the Black American stars that we have here in boxing right now, right? First, we got Gervonta Tank Davis, we got Devin Haney, we got Clarissa Shields, we got Boots Ennis, we got Shakur Stevenson. Right? Now, y'all gonna be like, what? Why are you saying that? They getting paid. Shakur Stevenson went from main event fighter to 2 million people watching him fight on ESPN to, okay, people gonna say his last fight, the TO fight, was the biggest. It was 20,000 people there. It was the biggest fight imaging. What was the gate? What was the gate? They should have set a record. So which record did they break? But the point that I was trying to make is, yes, Shakur Stevenson is getting paid for these fights because he's with Turkey. But Shakur Stevenson's value is tanking. Same thing with Devin Haney. And this is my opinion. Devin Haney's getting paid, but Devin Haney's value is tanking. Well, how you know Devin Haney's value is tanking? Well, unless Devin Haney is fighting with Turkey, he can't seem to get a fight. What happened with the Sando Martin fight? He said, oh, they don't want to pay me enough money. I'm dropping my belt. They don't want to pay me enough money. I'm dropping my belt. And people just kind of like overlooked it, like they don't want to give him the money he wants. But everybody keeps saying they don't want to give Devin the money he wants. But why? Why don't they want to give Devin the money he wants, y'all? Why? So that's one example. Devin goes, now he's trying to deal and do business with the PBC. What's happening? Oh, they don't want to give Devin a guarantee. They don't want to give Devin the money he wants. Why don't they want to give Devin the money he wants? Why? They tried to get Jaron Ennis over there. He said no. My bad, y'all. He said no. I want to fight in America. This is what Eddie Hearn said in the interview. If I find an interview, I'll play it for you. And everybody kept trying to say, you should go with Turkey. He giving you the bag. He giving you the bag. He giving you the bag. He's giving you the bag. At what cost, though, are you getting the bag? What cost? what position is Devin really in right now? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. But just on the outside looking in, it's looking like unless you get that welfare check from the Saudi government to fight, you're not gonna fight. Thank you, Gap Tooth Games. You're not gonna fight because they're not gonna give you the money you want. See, isn't that crazy? Like they're not giving you the money you want. They're not paying me the money I earned. They're not paying me enough money because of the money I generate. You just saying they're not paying you the money you want. So how did Turkey come and mess up the market? Well, he came and messed up the market exactly how I told y'all he would come and mess up the market. He paid these fighters a lot of money to fight lesser competition. And I told y'all that that's going to make regular competitive fights even harder to make. Virgil Ortiz, Jaron in his perfect example. Even in the paperwork, Rick Merizian used the Teofimo Lopez Shakur Stevenson fight as an example as to why he's asking for that type of money for Virgil Ortiz to fight Boots Ennis. Now, who else besides Turkey would pay Teo and Shakur $8-9 million to fight each other? Guaranteed. Who else would pay them that? And now people got like the misconception that if somebody's not willing to overpay you, or they have a business that they have to run, or they have to be profitable, or their goal is to be profitable, that they're broke. No, that doesn't mean that they're broke. So I don't know how long it's going to take for the market to like shake out. And I don't even know if the market will ever shake out. It might not ever shake out. So I'm just curious. I'm just sitting back watching, seeing how it's gonna go, because it's like Turkey is taking its foot off the gas, right? You got people going over signing to Zuffa. I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out. I think we got like I maybe let's say in a year and a half, 2 years. I think we really that's when all the Zuffa stuff is gonna start to catch up. And this same conversation we having about Turkey that I told y'all a year ago, I'm willing to bet it's gonna be the same conversation we gonna have about Zuffa in the future. I'm just guessing though. Like, this is just my 2 cents. I could be right, I could be wrong. I don't know everything. But I'm just sitting back and I'm watching. I'm watching Shakur Stevenson and the moves he's making, how ambiguous he's being. Why don't we know which weight class Shakur Stevenson is fighting in? Why is we don't know what weight class he's fighting in? We don't know if he want to fight. Do he want belts? Do he not want belts? Like what is going on with Shakur? I'm just listen, this is just open mic night. We just talking. What's up, Nick Ballin TV? Why don't we know? Okay, people say, well, he's at 140. Okay. He's at 140. Okay, let me see if I can find this clip. We're gonna talk about it tonight. Because now you came out with Conor Benn talking about how you'll be willing to fight him at 154. You'll go to 47. You'll do all this extra stuff. Hold on, let's see what Eddie Hearn's saying about Zuffa. Zuffa boxing. Well, I know Eddie Hearn love all this attention. Eddie Hearn can't wait to get in front of a camera.
Options, no deal in place. Is he actually a free agent? Do you feel like he's a free agent?
I think if you want to get sucked into the fact that someone would pay $15 million for a 10-round fight, where it's probably worth $1 million, and have no future options, no deal in place, you are probably the biggest idiot on the planet. But that is what was reported to us. That was what we had to effectively match. And now it's a case of making sure there's that disclosure in place to prove to us that that is the truth, of which we will be making sure it is the truth. And if it's not the truth, there'll be a major problem, and we'll get to the bottom of if that is the truth or not. I would be astonished if it is, but that's what Zuffa's lawyers told us. So, like I said, we'll look at full disclosure on that to make sure there was no prior conversations, no prior agreements, or nothing in place at all that would suggest that this fight is anything else than a one-fight deal for $15 million for a 10-round fight on an undercard with no future options.
Well, Turkey about to get sued again. So, I mean, allegedly they paid Conor Benn $15 million to fight Regis Prograis 10 rounds on the undercard. Do y'all see how that's like messing up the market? Like, y'all like, yeah, you're getting paid, but look 50. Come on, man. Look how much bigger Clarissa is than Elisa Baumgartner.
I'm coming.
She don't want no smoke, man. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Crochet, you cooking. I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like Shakur handlers tell him what weight he should fight at if the price is right. I mean, that's cool. It just, I don't know. I'm trying to find this clip of him calling out. I'm trying to find this clip of him calling out Devin. I want y'all to see it. And my thing is, stop calling out people that's not in your weight class. But what weight class are you at? Because you said you was going back down to 35. You haven't dropped no belt or nothing. You still at the division. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see if I can find this clip. Anyway, I can't find the clip, but in a clip I seen of Shakur Stevenson, he was calling out Devin Haney and was like, you know what? I think I'll fight Devin Haney at 144 pounds. I seen he fought Ramirez 2 fights ago at 144 pounds. What does him fighting Ramirez 2 fights ago got to do with anything? And why are you trying to bring him down? Why do you think the champion at 147 pounds is going to come down to fight you? Devin is big as hell. You think he wants to come down to fight you? You shouldn't have even said nothing. Like, if that's the stipulation that you have to fight Devin, just don't say nothing. Because you're already contradicting the hell out of yourself now with these weight clauses and rehydration and it's business and this and that. After you criticize Tank. Criticized and crucified that man. And you bigger than Tank. And nobody is even thinking, like, Shakur Stevenson is way bigger than Tank. And he's asking for catch weights and rehydration clauses. But y'all crucified Tank. But when Shakur wants one, it's just business. For some stuff that he volunteered himself to go up in weight. He volunteered himself to do that. And then when people like, okay, you going up in weight, what's up? Y'all want me to contradict myself. No, you are contradicting yourself, Shakur. What are you talking about? What do y'all think about Ben Whitaker fighting on Boots in this undercard? And this is what I'm saying. They are really, I'm telling y'all, they're really trying to force these UK fighters into the American market. Don't try to build up Ben Whitaker in the States off of Boots Ennis. Ben Whitaker ain't no American fighter. He's not an American fighter. You don't got Shakur or Boots over there in the UK trying to build them up. Or am I tripping? Y'all let me know and drop below if I'm tripping. Hold on. Yeah, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Why is Ben? Did you put Boots Ennis on a card with Ben Whitaker in the UK? Stop trying to force these UK fighters on us. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All them UK fighters gonna come over here and get beat up. Conor Benn is about to get beat up at everybody at 47. Devin, Shakur, Ryan, Karen, Crocker, GSI. Who does Conor Benn beat at 147 pounds? Who? Y'all don't see what's happening? See, y'all just like, oh, I'm a boxing fan. I just want to watch boxing. And I get that. I'm a boxing fan too. Cool. But at the same time, I can see happening right in front of our eyes what I told y'all was going to happen a year ago. That this was the plan. They got Conor Benn ranked number one at don't they got Conor Benn ranked number one at the WBC at 147? How? Because he beat Regis? 2 cents. Are you saying European fighters can't sell in Europe? No. I'm saying that they're bringing the fighters over here, trying to push them and make them stars in our American market, in our market. See, they tried to bring Tyson Fury over here, have him beat Deontay Wilder and be a star in America. But guess what? Guess what happened to Tyson Fury? He got banned from America. He can't even fight in the country because that's how big of a scumbag he is. He banned from the country. They tried to bring Tyson Fury over here, let him cheat Deontay Wilder, thought that was going to make him a star in America, right? That's what they tried to do. But then guess what? He was connected to Kinahan, the Irish mob, and got banned from the States. So now look at what they're doing. They got Tyson Fury, the headline on Netflix. They're going to force it. They're going to force Tyson Fury to be a star. They're trying to force Conor Benn to be a star over here in America. Now you got Ben Whitaker on Jaron Boots in this undercard. Why? Why is Ben Whitaker even over here? What fans does Ben Whitaker have in America? But listen, y'all can give me a different perspective. I could be wrong. I could just be tripping. They brought AJ over here and he lost to Andy Ruiz. They brought AJ over here and he lost to a Mexican. Andy Ruiz, the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion. And who he beat? Anthony Joshua, a UK fighter. AJ is not no big star in the US. Boxing hacker, AJ ain't no big star. I mean, he just fought Jake Paul, but AJ ain't no big star in the US. Nobody care about Anthony Joshua over here. And he's soft. Nobody care about Anthony Joshua. Not like that. He might got a little buzz because he broke Jake Paul jaw. But before that, nobody care about Anthony Joshua. Y'all keep talking about people big stars. They big stars in the UK. They big stars in the UK. How come Eddie Hearn ain't take Boots over there to the UK and make him a big star? How come Conor Benn couldn't stay in the UK and be the big star he is? How come Tyson Fury couldn't stay in the UK and be the big star he is? And they couldn't come over here and compete in the market. They had to tank the market. They had to come and deliberately tank the market. All kind of nefarious stuff. Make sure promoters can't get network deals and all this kind of stuff that's going on. And y'all watched it happen right in front of your eyes. Not only did y'all watch it happen, y'all was clapping like seals. Y'all was happy it was happening. See, everybody acting like they cool with the fights now. Oh, I just want to see the fights. Oh, we getting more fights. We're going to see how long that lasts when y'all keep getting these low quality fights. You're getting a bunch of them, but they low quality fights. We'll see how long that lasts. Bro, AB streaming now? Oh, Lord. Let's see what Rolly Romero had to say. AB streaming, y'all. That might work out for him. You never know. He probably get himself in trouble streaming.
Bill told me himself, May 30th, we're fighting.
They're just trying to use it for clout, too.
But you signed the contract, right?
Oh, yeah. Bill Haney did sit there and make that announcement. Y'all remember when Bill did that? He was at it. I think he was at his son amateur fight. And I think Ellie Setback rolled up on him and he was like, May 31st. The first time he said May 31st. Y'all remember when I played that on here? And I was like, this nigga lying. And then he said May 30th, Las Vegas. He was announcing the fight. He was promoting and everything. That's what I'm saying. That no guarantee stuff, that shit is an excuse, man. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Baby. It's a cop-out. Here we go.
Right.
I'm the one that sent it. We sent the whole deal and everything. But you want to go play like you're a promoter and all this stuff, but then you're like, oh, but we still need you. We want you to cover everything. We'll cover your end. We gave you 50%. You could have sold it off to DAZN, but DAZN didn't want to deal with them.
But it would be unification. It would be a big fight.
Hold on. What did he say? He could have sold it off to DAZN, but DAZN didn't want to deal with them? Can somebody in the chat explain what they think that means? I'm going to rewind it. I'm about to drop the link in about 10 minutes. I'm going to rewind it.
Didn't want to deal with them. But we still need you. We want you to cover everything. We'll cover your end. We gave you 50%. You could have sold it off to DAZN, but DAZN didn't want to deal with them.
But it would be unification. It would be a big fight. He's a champion. You're a champion.
It would have been a big fight. But it's called betting on yourself. You don't bet on yourself. I bet on myself.
What would happen? You and Ryan. He's a champion. You're a champion.
You know that's how boxing works, right? Like that's how it is. Like right, they're 50%. They could do whatever they want. They could go sell it over here. They could go do this. They could profit everything off of it. Whatever. That our 50%. That.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. So anyway, while I'm fixing it, he said that they could have took their 50% and did whatever they wanted. They could have sold it to the zone. So basically, they could have took their half and shopped it around, and somebody could have purchased it from them. Is that what he's saying? Because they would have made even more money. That's dope. Well, that's way better than a guarantee. If I understand correctly, I'm gonna ask somebody to explain that to me. Did y'all hear about this story about this influencer girl? I keep seeing it everywhere. And she was dating some white guy and he killed on her birthday while they was out the country. That's pretty wild. All right, I'm about to drop the link. Rolly got the Haneys looking like straight suckers. What does that mean? They could have sold it. I'm interested to know. And why didn't the zone want to deal with them? Why wouldn't the zone want to deal with the Haneys, y'all? Well, Richard Hitchison looked like he just acting like he having a good old time. Let me pull up the video. Let's take on back. All right, here we go. I found the video. All right, here we go, y'all. I got it back.
We're fighting.
They're just trying to use it for clout too.
But you signed the contract, right?
I'm the one that sent it. We sent the whole deal and everything. But you want to go play like you're a promoter and all this stuff, but then you're like, oh, but we still need you. We want you to cover everything. We'll cover your end. We gave you 50%. You could have sold it off to the zone, but the zone didn't want to deal with them.
But it would be unification. It would be a big fight. He's a champion. You're a champion.
It would have been a big fight. But it's called betting on yourself. You don't bet on yourself. I bet on myself.
What would happen? You and Ryan. He's a champion. You're a champion.
You know that's how boxing works, right? Like that's how it is. Like right, they're 50%. They could do whatever they want. They could go sell it over here. They could go do this. They could profit everything off of it. Whatever. That our 50%. That's what we cover it.
No, but I read they said some ridiculous things that you don't sell. You're probably one of the most popular people in the world right now. Their claim was, when you fought in New York, it was 2,000 people snuck in. I've never seen more people at an event.
And that's what I'm saying. But no, forget about that, right? He doesn't sell either. That Devin Ryan fight was a complete crash. It was a complete crash. Nobody cared about that.
It didn't do good on pay-per-view at all.
It did horrible. It just did horrible. So you tell me. Like they thought, Ryan's fight got done fighting Tank and all that stuff, right? But they don't understand truly why that fight was so big. They did like 4 press conferences.
Ryan was promoting the shit out of it with his antics.
No, but yeah, right. But no, there was that. But then you also get Floyd and De La Hoya promoting it to get fighting, arguing with each, like, of course. And then you get the Zone on it and Showtime. It was just, it was, they put so much into it where it's like there's no way it didn't sell.
So the Haney fight, the Haney's going another direction. Ryan, you fought him, you beat him, now you're champion. It would make a lot of sense to have that fight happen. Why doesn't Ryan? Ryan's a good fighter.
Ryan doesn't want to fight me.
Why not?
Shout out to Mr. Greg, boxing hacker, and paid in full on the panel. What's up, Mr. Greg? Man, listen. Rolly is cooking the Haneys. He cooking them.
Yeah.
What's your himself, Mr. Greg? What you got for the show?
I was thinking when you asked the question, excuse me, a little hoarse, when he was talking about selling their 50%. The only 2 things I could think of is their half of the broadcast rights, and get a percentage off of that from some kind of way, or they sell their half to another entity to cover the cost of the promotion, and they benefit that way as well. I actually have never heard of one fighter being able to sell one half of a fight, but those.
Well, they will be the promoter, right? Because it'll be a co-promotion.
And
So
that
they
makes
gonna be the
now
promoter.
that makes more sense. I get it now. So one of the things I'm thinking is that they're selling their portion to a larger entity, a larger promoter, in some kind of way, where they'll take a piece of the action up front, let that promoter handle whatever costs that they would have occurred, and then they benefit from any revenue that's generated after cost. Those are the only two things I can see happening, because the Haneys don't want to assume the responsibility of the upfront money that needs to be spent for a fight. It would make sense they find someone else that they could sell their half to, so they don't have to pay anything. But it complicates things too, because now you bring in a third party who's going to have their agenda, and sometimes the fight can get scuttled because maybe the other half of the promotion don't want to do business or not getting along with doing business with them. I'm not sure how that plays out, but it doesn't make sense that you have that many hands in a fight, and then you bring in some more hands when you're supposed to be the ones who are winning the promoter. So that makes me question why the Haneys insist on operating in this fashion, when sooner or later it's going to cause complications, and it seems like there's some complications now. This is just the way they operate, I guess, and I'm assuming that's why they're not getting any fights, because you're gone to I think the last person they gone to was a PBC, and PBC wasn't willing to go for what the Haneys were putting forth. So if you got an entity like PBC not want to deal with them, where do you go? I'm not sure if Eddie already turned them down. I'm not sure if Oscar turned them down, but I would think more than likely that's what they've already done.
Well, Oscar, they tried to sue Oscar, so
Yeah. So
and then this Rolly just said the Zone didn't want to deal with him, and that's the network.
well, yeah. Well, see, when you get like that, and that's what happens when you want to play businessman and you want to be and control, and you want to have power. You have to have money. And there's a lot of money that you have to spend, even on the I guess the B-level fights. You still have to spend a good deal of money, unless you get a lot of site money from the site fees, unless you have a lot of sponsors already ready to invest in that particular fighter. I mean, there's a lot of money that still gets spent. And I doubt if that, I'm just assuming that Haneys are on that spend other people's money thing. And that doesn't always work when you are a promoter. A promoter usually will have one source that finances them. You know, like when PBC had the investment fund, Top Rank had the guy over in Sweden, the Zone had a wealthy Middle Easterner. There's always just one person who's banking you or fronting you the money or behind you. But when you have to run around and constantly looking for different people to put up money for a fight that you're going to be in, but you don't want to assume any responsibilities, sooner or later you're going to have complications. And right now, I think that's what the Haneys are running into, because they're not sealing any deals now. They're not fighting. And that's because of how I guess they're trying to operate.
Well, they got to get that welfare check from the Saudi Arabian government.
I guess that's where they're going to have to eventually go to. Sooner or later, they're going to have to submit to someone and be under someone's thumb, because they don't have the money to be the end of freedom isn't free. And I say that because it still costs. So if they want to be in charge, as they say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. They want to be the boss, but they don't want to pay the cost. That's how it looks to me.
Well, you know, I said earlier, I gave this example. People think about the word free. What does free mean, Mr. Greg? It means no value. Free means no value. It's free. It's no value. It is cost nothing.
Well, look at where they are. They're free and have
They're
no
free.
value.
And they have no value.
No value.
Everybody, they wanted these fighters want their freedom so bad, and now what? Now what? Now you have no value because you took this money and you didn't think. And I said this, Mr. Greg. I've been saying this whole time, and now it's happening. Like now, you can't accept your value. So what are you gonna do? Either you're gonna accept your value, or you're gonna have to just sit around and wait for Turkey, or you're gonna end up at Zuffa, which was the plan all along. What's up, Boxing Hacker? What you got for the show?
Yo, what's up, 2 Cent?
What
Yo,
up?
I always find it crazy that people like this whole like, oh, you have to bet on yourself, you know? Like for certain fighters it makes sense, for certain fighters it doesn't, right? I think from Roy's perspective, he's actually with the PBC, even though he has his own promoter or whatever, but they're also tied to the PBC. They're the whole third party coming in. They don't want to. It's the same thing Terrence Crawford felt like. They don't want to just give PBC like just PBC wholeheartedly with all the numbers and stuff. They say, hey, just give me a flat. I'd rather have a higher up front versus me trusting you with everything and hoping that, like, you know, after everything's all said and done, that the splits are all correct, you know? I think it makes sense. Like I said, Terrence Crawford had the same problem Devin had. You know, it's not to say that like they wouldn't bet on themselves, because look, Devin bet on himself when he fought Kambosos, and he didn't. He did. No, he didn't. He was in a 3-fight deal in which he wasn't meant to win, because all 3 fights.
What you mean? Wait, why do y'all keep?
It wasn't even on
How was he
pay-per-view.
not meant to win? Y'all
Wait. And yes, they were.
Hold on.
It wasn't even on pay-per-view.
Hold on, Pay. We're not gonna make up emotional parts of the story. A 3-fight deal, he wasn't meant to win.
So let me explain why.
No, we're not.
Let me explain why. Here's consensus, right?
He wasn't meant to beat Kambosos.
So he also had to fight Lomachenko, who was the top ranked darling at the time, right? So to get a decision on Lomachenko, you really had to.
Lomachenko was on his way out. They fed him to Devin.
No, they didn't feed him anything. They expected Lomachenko to win.
Who expected Lomachenko to win boxing?
So then nobody thought Devin would get. If it was a close fight, nobody would have thought that Devin would win a decision over Lomachenko over a top ranked deal.
They fed Lomachenko.
And it was a 3-fight deal in which it's a 3-fight deal in which I'm always going on your side. I'm always going to the other person's side for each fight. He had to go to Australia twice. It wasn't like he beats Kambosos and then Kambosos has to come to his side. No. Everything is always on Kambosos' side. He had the lowest. He played basically the B side. But guess what? Kambosos was offering something that Rolly isn't. Kambosos is offering all the other belts. He was a unified champion. Right now at 147, Devin's the number 1 champion. Rolly's not even number 1 champion. Devin is.
How is he the number 1 champion, bro?
Because he didn't get elevated. He fought the number 1 person at the division.
Bro, what are you talking?
That's how he became the number 1 champion.
What are you talking about?
He got elevated.
Just let him finish.
Elevated from Boots Ennis. From Boots leaving. That's how Rolly got elevated, right? Brian Norman won his title, and Devin took it from him. That made Brian Norman was number 1. Devin beat the number 1. That made Devin number 1 in that division. You know, so when you look at that perspective, like, and also keep in mind that, like I said, Rolly's with the PBC. Rolly's with the PBC, right? So there's a little more like trust there. Devin's just a third party. He's his own like entity coming in. You know, so like they just feel like, hey, it wasn't a good deal, you know? And it's just weird that people are all like, oh, Devin doesn't want to do this. It's like it's either Devin's like sort of like people feel like Devin has to accept PBC's first offer, or he's ducking, or he's scared, or he's not worth nothing. No. If you don't like it, you just don't take the fight. Same, like I said, same thing happened to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford at first, he left. He literally almost
Bro, you
left.
keep bringing up that Terrence Crawford shit, bro.
Because
like, you keep
Terrence
bringing
Crawford
that
had
up.
the same issue.
But you're not telling the end part of it, though, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta tell the whole story.
He
came back with a better offer.
That's not the same thing, bro. Because Terrence Crawford, after that Errol Spence fight, he did not complain about his money. So don't use that argument.
What are you talking? He complained about it during negotiations.
Bro, he didn't complain about his money after that Errol Spence fight.
Because they finished negotiations.
This nigga is crazy, bro. So how are you using the argument?
So Devin's complaining about the negotiations, right?
No, he didn't. He complained about the money.
Devin Haney's complaining about what happened in negotiations, right? This is the part they were in, right? The fight hasn't happened, right? You're talking about what happened after the fight. During negotiations, Terrence Crawford complained a lot. Terrence Crawford went to BLK Prime after. Like he literally stopped negotiating with him at one point. So what are we talking about?
Land a fucking plane, nigga.
Yeah, so just to land that, it's like at the end of the day, like I understand what Rolly's saying. Oh, he should bet on himself, but Rolly's not in the same position Devin is. Devin, I think, made more money than Rolly. Devin is his own entity. Rolly has a promotional company. Devin has his own promotional company. They're in two different positions. Yeah. Rolly is with the PBC. Devin is not with the PBC. So the trust that Rolly has for the PBC and bet on himself is different than third party coming in. And I'll land it right there.
All right.
That is like the weakest
argument.
Dumbest
shit I ever heard.
And
it doesn't make any sense.
Nah, nigga, shut up. You landed your plane. That shit crashed.
Go ahead, Peyton Ford. What you got?
Okay, so first of all, I hate when he always go back to bringing up that Terrence Crawford shit. They had issues with the money split, opposed to because Terrence Crawford wanted more money. But Earl Spence felt like he didn't deserve. Well, PBC felt like he didn't deserve that amount of money. Earl Spence went behind PBC back pretty much and pushed the issue, basically saying just give him what he wants. You can't sit here and say that Devin Haney is a promotional company when he's not putting up no money for no fights. That's the issue you keep running into. You keep talking about Devin Haney. Devin Haney is this promotional company, or he in a better position than Rolly. No, the fuck he's not, because actually Rolly has somebody that's actually backing him. A promotional company, and a network. Devin has neither. So Devin wants all these guarantees as far as money and stuff, but he's not bringing nothing to the table. So you want to get paid as a promoter, but you're not putting up no money for the fight. So how is it that Devin is quote unquote being done wrong when he's not putting up no money for the fight? And again, I hate when people bring up that Terrence Crawford shit, because he complained in the beginning, but when that check hit that account, you ain't hear shit else about that shit.
Rolly's side not putting up no money for a fight either. What are you talking about?
You know what I mean?
What you said?
Rolly's promoter's not putting no money for a fight. What are you talking about?
How do you think he's getting the money? Where do you think he's getting the money
from? PBC. What are you talking about?
Who is he with? Who is he with?
GTD. What are we talking about?
So he's with GTB?
Yeah. Whatever this promotional company is called. He's not with PBC. He's not.
You talking about Tom Brown?
Yeah, TGB, whatever they call themselves.
Nigga, that's his promotional company.
And how much money is Tom Brown putting into the event?
They putting up to $6 million.
Oh my! PBC is doing that.
No, they're not.
Shut up, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. You gotta shut up.
So Tom Brown is putting up the money.
Just shut up and let Pay cook, nigga.
What's PBC doing then?
Let Pay cook. Just finish cooking, Pay.
This man is crazy.
What's PBC doing?
Quit talking to this dude, man. Shut up.
I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm done. I'll land right there, bro.
All right, go ahead, Cash. Be more bullious on you. What you got for the show?
Hey, what's up, T? What's going on, Mr. Greg? Or should I say my homeboy Greg? We're around the same age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But what's going on, Cash Crypto, my man, my mellow?
What up, Brody?
All right. What's going on, my man? Always paid in full.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I came, man. I just finished. I've been up something for me and wifey, so I come in the living room. I'm chilling. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go check out 2 Cent. I'm like, all right, that's right. Let me get on here. So I get on here, and the first thing I hear is Boxing Hacker talking something that is he always give you half of the story as he see it, but not the actual truth or the whole story. See, that's one thing you gotta watch about Hacker. He'll give you a quarter of the story and then make up the rest. That's what he do. He do a quarter of the story and then he make up all the rest. Seriously, all of a sudden, Rolly's promotional company, man, is guaranteeing his purse. So Devin's promotional company, which is DHP, supposedly supposed to be paying his half. But they was going to go ahead and give him some. But Devin wants to be greedy and want more. I want half of everything. And you don't put up shit. Devin Haney Productions is a tax shelter. That's all it is. He don't even put on any fights. How many fights have he put up? Have he put on? How many boxing matches have he put on?
Not one.
Not a damn one. So how can he be a promotional company? And if he ain't coming to the table as a promotional company and flipping at least a quarter of the motherfucking total cost of putting on a fight, then why the hell do we think he deserves half? Doesn't make sense, do a hacker. Because nothing you ever say makes sense. Seriously, man. We be gracious and we be nice to you, and you know what I mean. Us Black Americans, aka Indigenous Americans, aka Aboriginal Americans, we are
African Americans.
Because no,
Box
not
hacker.
African.
Box
No,
hacker.
not African.
Can you tell me how you can be from two continents?
What?
How can you be African American?
How can you be African American? Your ancestors are African, and then you're American.
No, we're not.
So
My
are they
ancestors
European
were no
Americans?
Yes, white people. Yeah, white Americans are European Americans. The ones who are native to this country are Native Americans, right? Those
They're not native to this
Are they
country.
classify them as European Americans?
That's what they are. I mean, there's no way around that.
No,
Right?
they're
If
not.
your ancestors are from Europe, you're European American.
Just like you are
They're
immigrant.
American. They're American. They're American.
No. Americans
They
are a melting
immigrants,
pot.
just like
If that's the
you are
case,
immigrant.
then people
You
people
believe
have to go
everything
here
that a
are American,
European
right?
would tell you, don't you, hacker?
Huh?
Clearly.
You believe everything that European
Yeah, you believe all the
invaders would
conspiracy
tell
theories
you.
are on YouTube. So
No, I don't believe in conspiracy theories.
Anyway,
I don't
let me
believe
read
in
this.
conspiracy
Let me
theories
read
at
this
all.
from Jupe, and
My
I'm gonna pass it to
grandfather
Cash
told me
Crypto. Hold on,
who I
y'all. Let me
was,
read
my
this.
nationality.
He says, Jupe
Mic
says
check, mic check.
TGB is putting up the money for Rolly. They even put up money when PBC guys fight on other cards. It's why their logo is on the flyers. SMH. Cash
TGB
Crypto, what
gets
you
the
got
money
for the
from
show?
PBC.
Yeah, shut up, nigga. I think honestly, I think they were just stalling. I don't think they ever wanted to fight Rolly. I think they were just stalling, hoping to get some more time to see what Turkey was going to give him a fight. Because it don't make no sense for Devin to go and do a pay-per-view with Regis, who can't promote like Rolly. He'll do it with Ryan. He don't promote like Rolly, and they do it with these guys for. He was getting a little 1.5 million, and he never got no back end from them fights. So to not want to do a deal with PBC, who is the best at putting on pay-per-view events and promoting them, so the guys can get their lion's share at the end, it just don't make no sense. That's why to me, the niggas are just it was a stalling tactic. They never wanted to fight Rolly.
They was just killing time.
They're just killing time, man. If they weren't doing that, I don't get it. Because to not take that deal, to not take 50, when you're not even worth 50%. So to not take that 50%, it don't make no sense.
Thanks. And they was gracious enough to get it to 50%.
And if you want to keep calling yourself a boss, you got to start making boss moves. If you in the street, you flying on the plane and getting your own chickens, you doing some boss moves, nigga. So if you want to be a boss in the boxing game, nigga, act like it. Quit acting like a little bitch that want to just be a little worker, nigga. You just want some money up front, nigga. Like, nigga, play your position.
It costs to be the boss.
Do that.
Shit crazy.
So being a boss means signing any kind of contract.
Hacker, you ain't never been a boss or nothing in your life.
Wait.
Hacker don't even want to pay his own
You're not
taxes.
certified, nigga. You're not certified to speak on some of this
Is
shit.
that what you call being a boss?
You ain't never fucked a bad bitch. You ain't never been a boss on anything in your life,
Like
nigga.
being
Shut
a boss
up.
at all, man. That's not like the ultimate opposite of being a boss.
Hacker, you don't even want to be a boss. You don't even want to do your taxes, bro.
If you're a boss, you sign what makes sense to you. Don't just sign contract just for the sake of be a boss. Bet on yourself. What the hell?
No, what we're saying is he doesn't want to sign the contract because he's not a boss, and that's okay.
No,
I agree with you. No, let me finish. I agree with you. He's not a boss. It's not a good contract for him because he's not a boss. See, if you were a boss, then this would, and you were coming like the DHP, then maybe it wouldn't be a bad deal for you because, like Rolly was saying, you can go sell it, you can do whatever you want with it. But since you're not a boss and you're an employee, of course that's not a good deal for you. Employees ain't taking risks like that. They're not covering no expenses. Listen, you're gonna give me my money, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do my job, and I'm gonna leave. So you're not wrong, Hacker. It's not a good deal for him. You're absolutely right.
So you telling me
he's not a boss, you listen to what I'm saying. You're not listening, you're just waiting to talk. I'm agreeing with you. It's not a good deal for him. It's not a good deal for him. So no, he shouldn't accept it.
So wait, you're saying to be a boss, you have to accept what PBC offers you? Is that your you can't just be like you don't like the deal?
Is that what I said? Well,
it sounds like it because that's what he said he didn't like the deal, and you're like,
hold on. And I'm saying he didn't like the deal because he's not a boss, and that's okay.
So to be a boss, you have to like the deal. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying to be a boss, you have to put money up and cover expenses, and that's what they don't want to do. So they're not bosses. That's it. That's the argument. The argument isn't if they're taking the deal or not. The argument is, are they really bosses like they proclaim to be? And the answer is, listen, no, don't cut me off. And the answer is, no, they are not. So because they're not bosses, it wasn't a good deal and they didn't take it. Like, I don't understand what you're not understanding.
Well, to be a boss, I mean, he has an LLC, right? So technically, he is a boss.
Man.
That's by way of definition. Let's just get that out there. Like, he owns his own company, so technically speaking, he's a boss.
That don't make you a boss.
Liking a contract or not liking a contract.
No, theoretically speaking, he's a boss. Theoretically,
him not signing that contract doesn't make him a boss. You know that, right?
In actuality,
see what you're doing, Boxing Hacker, is you keep trying to reduce this about signing the contract when that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but being a boss, he has his own company, so technically he is a boss. Like,
why that company not putting up no fucking money?
Boxing Hacker, anybody can go get an LLC,
and they'll be a boss of that company.
This man,
so like that's how it works.
Man, it's crazy.
It's funny when people say that.
All right, we got some new people on the panel. We got Jupe and Sin Ironheart. We're gonna let Jupe get her 2 cents, and then we're gonna let Sin Ironheart go. Don't cut people off. Let them say what they gotta say. We're gonna pass the mic, and then I'm gonna open up the panel back up. So the panel's not open now. It's on Jupe, and then it's on Sin, and then I'm going to open the panel back up. Go ahead, Jupe. What you got for the show?
Good evening, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, Jupe.
Hey, Jupe.
Hey. So I hear what you're saying, and 2 cents, you're absolutely right. Like, for example, I could own a lemonade stand, right? So technically, I'm the boss of that lemonade stand. This is my lemonade stand. I have an LLC for it. Does that mean I can go into, I own this LLC for lemonade? Does that mean I can go to a company where they're, growing lemons and say, hey, I'm a boss and I can talk at the same level as you guys? And they're like, hey, okay, we're growing lemons. What's your experience with that? No. Okay. Do you have any capital to invest in our business of growing lemons? No, I don't. So am I a boss then? No. I mean, in my little lemonade stand, yes, I run a lemonade stand. I might have my brother or sister work for me. Then yes, I'm the boss of my LLC lemonade stand. I am not the boss when I go to someone who grows lemons, invest in the farmland to grow the lemons, and then try to act like I'm equal, and then get mad when like, hey, I don't want to put up any money, and then say I'm a boss because I'm not equal to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Yes, you can own an LLC, and congratulations to him. He owns DHP. That's great. But if you're gonna come to the table as DHP and say you're a boss, what's the one especially Black American proverb we all know? You got to pay the cost to be the boss. That's what it is. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. You cannot just come and saying, "Oh, I want this, I want that." I'm level with you, and no, that's not how it works. If not, like you said, then you're an employee, and that's fine. And an example of this is that all the bigger stars and bigger names in boxing have not been complaining or nervous about not getting an upfront guarantee because they bet on themselves. They know, hey, I know I can sell these tickets. I know that I've been curating my fan base. I know that they're going to come support me, and I'm going to bet on myself. So they're not crying over these, I'm not saying crying, but I understand some people, like I can understand, like in Boyd's situation, he came from a company that did guarantees. Now he actually should have been getting more on that because as much as Bob Arum trashed him, he was the biggest star they had at the time when he was on there. But he was getting guarantees. I guarantee you, guarantees. Knowing what now after that lawsuit, we know what he was getting. I guarantee you, he was cheating himself because he should have been getting the back end, but he wasn't, right? So I think that's the thing here. And like you said, you're right. He said this doesn't make sense to me. Just because you feel like it's a bad deal, it's like Haney might have felt it's a bad deal for him. Does that mean the deal was unfair? No, it's a bad deal for him because he's been dealing in a situation which I and you and KO and a couple people said already was not sustainable. You've been getting upfront money for a long time beyond what you can generate. And we said that's not sustainable. But so for you, yeah, it's a bad deal in comparison to what you've been getting. Does that mean it was unfair? No, it's not unfair because if you're saying I'm the face of boxing, I'm this, I'm that, then you should be able to rely on the income and to say, okay, I don't trust PBC. Well, you trust Golden Boy when you fought Ryan. You didn't have a problem with that, and majority of your revenue is supposed to be coming from the back end on that, right? So at the end of the day, fine, you don't trust me. I don't believe in all this. And they said, Bud had an issue too. Yeah, so the two people who had an issue are two people who have been staunchly anti-PBC for years. So that's fine. But did Bud end up happy? Yes. Did anybody have an issue with their money? No, right? So I just think that's the key thing here is that there's two things that can be true at the same time. Yes, he might feel, this isn't a good deal for me. Does that mean it was unfair? No, it's because you're used to a situation. You're used to a mechanism that was a temporary mechanism that's now expiring. And now you're realizing your true value and you don't like it. And I said this would happen. And people just like, oh, no, you're hating on Turkey. I said, okay, see how long this keeps up. And then when it comes to, but it does come to betting on yourself. I remember Spence talked about betting on himself, and that's why he was able to fill out those stadiums in the beginning. He took a little small. Actually, what he did in the beginning was take those small, upfront little purses or stipends, or whatever. And when he got his name built, cool, I'm making that money, right? Because now I'm selling. Well, Devin should have already built himself, right? He's done a pay-per-view before, a couple, right? He's done that before. So you should be at that level where you can bet on yourself. That's what truly bet. And for some reason, he doesn't feel comfortable doing that. Same thing with Wilder, same thing with Tank, same thing with other guys who, have made big money, and so far as betting on yourself with the Top Rank deal, I think people forget the context. This was a time where DAZN was going through something similar to what Turkey is. The transition was happening now, right? DAZN came in, overpaying everybody, right? Remember that? We got the money, blah blah blah. We're gonna take over the world, pay-per-view, bye pay-per-view. They did all that, and then they had to suddenly bring in pay-per-view. And then what they do? They start cutting purses because they started realizing they were losing too much money. They were bleeding by the hundreds of millions of dollars, so they had to change everything, and they started cutting. Y'all forgot. Remember, people forget. Everybody talking about money and who should be trusted. You remember when Canelo had to sue DAZN? People forget. Canelo had to sue DAZN.
Yep.
They started reneging on what they initially promised, and people started suing them because they couldn't meet those purses anymore because it was bleeding them dry, right? So at the time, Devin was on there, so the purses he was getting overpaid was that well was running dry. So you know who saved him? Bob Arum. Bob Arum took him So imagine you were out on the zone. You had no real options over there because none of the other belt holders were there. Bob Arum said, "Fine, I'll go ahead and take you and let you," and gave him a deal of a lifetime. He took you to Australia, where the Australian government covered the purses. He didn't have to worry about sales.
Another welfare check.
People forget the Australian government covered those purses. So that's not betting on yourself. And then you got to fight Lomachenko after he wasn't even looking that great. He's not, I mean, he still looked good, but in his prime, at the end of the day, you were favored to win each and every fight you were in. That was the biggest blessing. Like, you can't get a better come up. So people are like, oh, he had to bet on himself. No, he didn't. He got flew out and paid for it by the you got it made. Like, I'm sorry, no one had you got all 4 belts by fighting someone that everyone knew you could beat. And you didn't have to sell a single ticket. Like, how many people get a blessing like that? And now people are trying to market it as he bet on himself. No, you didn't. I wish. You know how many fighters would have wished they could have hit that opportunity? You won't get no one will get a better opportunity than that ever. And then you got to fight, Loma. So you got 3 fights. You got saved from the budget cuts at the zone. You got on a bigger network, ESPN. You got flew it out to Australia, got him to cover it, and then you got to fight Loma. What are you talking about? So you never really did. So all I'm saying is that we got to stop this narrative. And if you're gonna come to the table as a boss, then yeah, you should cover your own your entity, your promotional company should be able to cover it. That's what everybody else did. Tom Brown did. I mean, I don't know if y'all go back and look at some of those turkey cards. And let me tell you something about in business. Nobody logos go. The logo does not go on those flyers unless you put some money in. You don't get logo placement. Let me tell you, people pay a lot of money, sponsorship money to be on those flyers. You're not getting on those flyers unless you put some money up. I'm telling you that right now. That's just letting you know. And you can go back to some of those turkey cards. You see Tom Brown promotion when the PBC fighters are on there. They're putting up some dough. So you want to play that role, then play the role. If not, then sit down and listen and just stay on the undercard and see if Turkey can re-steer the ship and can continue this situation, whatever it is he got going on. Hopefully he can salvage it. But other than that, it's a wrap. But that's all I got, y'all.
All right. We're going to pass this. We got some new people that joined us on the panel. Shout out to Dub Rightside, Sin Ironheart, and Manager Marty.
What's up?
Marty up here?
Sin, it's on you, then it's on Dub, then it's on Manager Marty. Go ahead.
What's up, Sin?
What's up, Mr. Bowtie?
Hey, what's good with it, yo?
Hey.
Not you, Sin. I'm talking about Manager Marty. That's Mr. Bowtie.
What's up, Manager Marty? Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, what's good with Manager Marty?
Yo, salute. Welcome, everybody, to Manager Marty.
Double M.
What's going on? I'm doing great. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to the panel. I'm gonna wait my turn, but it's glad to see you. I am glad to see everyone on the After Dark. Shout out to 2 cents. Shout out to 2 cents.
All right, go ahead, Sin.
Yeah, man. I just want to, to further pick on Devin just a little bit, just a tad.
Step on him, nigga.
I want to know if it was such. I mean, it just, in simple terms, if the Rolly deal was a bad deal, why did he ever say it was a good deal? Because that's the last I heard. That everything was good for him and his team, which means he had cosigns on the decision for one. And for Boxing Hacker to bring up the point of Terrence Crawford or whatever, or to make up a correlation, I just find it funny that it seemed like these is like the biggest paydays that these dudes is having. And all of a sudden, the negotiations get real difficult around their and controversial around their biggest paydays. So, I just find that a little bit funny, you know what I'm saying? And that Hacker uses that as a point to kind of, strengthen his argument and just, kind of raises an eyebrow. But I think Juke kind of cooked on, she kind of fired off on all cylinders as far as, just picking apart Devin. So I ain't really got much, to say, unless Hacker has more bullshit to add to his narratives. But I'm going to go ahead, slide aside and pass it on down.
Dub Rightside, what you got for the show?
First things first, man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good,
Yeah,
bro?
you clear, you clear.
Shout out to my sister. Hey, 2 Cent, man. Appreciate you. Uh, I ain't finna prolong this too much. If you say you have a promotional company, then I think Juke is on point in this situation. If you're a promoter, then you gotta pay fighters. You gotta have the money behind it and backing these things, right? And DHP, according to Devin and Bill, they promoters, right? And so if you can't back your own fighter, you know what I'm saying, the biggest fighter on that card or as far as that promotional brand goes is Devin Haney. That's the biggest fighter there. If you can't support him as far as paying him accordingly and making sure that the fight can be made, then are you truly a promotional company? That's the question I would always ask. Y'all know I love Devin. I'm a fan of Devin. And we'll always, hey, I think the man can box. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a great boxer. At the same time, I think they be out of order sometimes. And this is one of them times. You out of order when, well, no, I mean, the truth is the truth. You out of order when you want to sit here and say that, well, it's a good deal, but then all of a sudden we ain't got no guarantee. Well, your guarantee don't come from the other promoter. You're a promoter within your own rights, and so you're doing business with another promoter. We understand this PBC. Tom Brown has always been the lead promoter as far as the PBC brand goes. It is what it is. So now you're looking for a guarantee from Tom Brown. Well, Tom Brown and Rolly said it. And y'all know I'm not a big fan of Rolly, but he said he was like, well, wait a minute. I was guaranteed this anyways. Y'all gonna promote with me, which is what was going on in this situation. Well, hey, they don't have to guarantee you anything. That should be your promotion if you truly are a promoter. Are you a promoter or are you not? That's the question that I'm asking. Are you one or are you not? Because if you're truly a promoter, then you're gonna back the fighters that you have. And that ain't what it seemed like to be happening. Y'all out of order. And we're gonna call you out of order. It is what it is. I'll pass the mic with that.
All right, it's on you, Manager Marty. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, I was listening for the past 5 minutes, and it sounds like we're back to Devin Haney again. Literally 2 weeks ago, I did a live, and I actually published an excerpt of the live where I broke this down so eloquently, and I heard most of you basically already, raise some of those same points up about Devin Haney and DHP Promotions and the issue that Devin and his team had with Roland Romero and his team, TGB and Al Heyman and all of those guys at PBC sending the offer that they sent. And going back to Sin Ironheart point, I mean, Devin Haney and them didn't have a problem with the deal when they first got the term sheet. This is even more egregious than anything else besides all the points that we've made and the points that I covered on my platform. The fight was going to happen at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. And Devin Haney still wasn't confident that he was going to do any type of selling. And the man lived in Henderson. The man done started out in Las Vegas. Him and his dad used to live out there when they was I'm not going to use the word nut hugging. It's disrespectful on your platform. But I'll say when they was at the Mayweather Boxing Club and they were doing all their rounds in Las Vegas when they lived there around the Mayweather gym. And my thing is, this is like a hometown fight for Devin Haney in Vegas. And you still not confident in selling and you home? That's unfortunate. And then on top of all of that, like the point that I made before, and I think I heard Juke make the point, Devin and Bill Haney have been going around for years, years and years and years, gaslighting the media, gaslighting boxing fans, and gaslighting content creators who are paid by them to tell these lies about them being a promotion company. And like I said on my channel, they spend all that money getting all them T-shirts printed up to have DHP printed on it. And for sure, they are not an entity. Are they legal? Absolutely. I mean, if you pay the right price for at least $150 to $250 in some states here in the country of the United States of America, you can own your own LLC. But the bottom line is they're not active as a corporation. So it's basically just a hobby. And the thing about it is this: Devin Haney is used to getting handouts because his dad, the 2023 Manager of the Year, have been widely known in the business for just walking his son over to work with promoters. Devin Haney has never been a free agent for more than 3 months in his whole career, in his whole life. If you go back and look at what happened, I think Juke made the point of the 3 fights that Devin Haney fought on with Top Rank. As soon as the deal was over with Top Rank, they only had a 3-fight deal. He was a free agent then. But what happened? Instead of him doing business with TGB, Al Heyman, and Tank Davis and Mayweather Promotions to fight Tank Davis, they ran up to Eddie Hearn and begged him for a deal. Eddie Hearn gave him a deal, and that's how they was able to secure the fight with Regis Prograis for that belt at 140. They only been a free agent for 3 months. You know, these guys are not used to doing real business, just like any other promotion company. And that's because they're used to getting guarantees. So just like Doug Rightside said, he's correct. I mean, TGB don't owe Devin Haney no guarantee. He's not promoting Devin Haney.
At
Now,
all.
if he was signed to TGB Promotions, then of course they have to guarantee him a minimum and or a maximum, like I taught y'all before, of how contracts work in the business. But nobody owes them a guarantee. But Bill Haney said it the best 2 weeks ago, and I played it on my platform. He said Turkey Al-She came in the game, and he basically gave us a guaranteed check without us have to worrying about selling tickets or worrying about pay-per-view buys. See, they're comfortable, and that's how they do business. Devin Haney, unfortunately, needs good representation. I mean, I can do 3 things for Devin Haney right now as a boxing manager. I change his image, I change his whole career, and he'll make more money working with me than he ever made in his life because I know the business. But his dad don't. And because his dad is not humble enough and he's so prideful and he want to roll around on the ground with 24-year-old young boys and getting in fights and acting like he's tough, he'll never learn the business. And it's unfortunate because Devin Haney, he is a talented fighter. But if you look at Devin Haney's career, and this is unfortunate for Devin's sake, if you look at Devin Haney's career, the young man has been manufactured. Like I said, he is talented, and we can't take anything away from him. But look at the moves that his manager have made. He hooked him up with with Victor Conti, got that boy all on that snack. Then he turns around and did and did deals with everybody that wasn't black. If you go and look at the
Yeah.
Haneys, they speak all this pro-black, black love, black power. But when you go look at who they do business with, Al Heyman is black, and they still haven't done business with him. And so is Mayweather. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with doing business with anyone other than person that's black. What I'm saying is Bill Haney is pump faking when he run around on social media and he talk this black solidarity, but he's never done business, him or his son, with anyone that's black that can push buttons in the business. And not only that, they've been highly disrespectful to black people. So I don't even give them any credence for that. But if you look at Devin Haney and his career, turn around and they get in the jam, they get the begging. They beg more than Keith Sweat did in '93 with all this begging they doing. I mean, because they need Turkey. They Devin Haney kept screaming Turkey name, Turkey, Turkey, please, please, Turkey, Turkey. I thought they was trying to order a hoagie or a sandwich or something all the times he was screaming Turkey name because they can't
Man.
go to nobody else, man. And I'm not hating on these guys. I wish they do well, but they
So are they
can't go
trapped or
nowhere else.
stuck? Are they trapped or stuck? And why do you think? Do you think that they thought that that would last forever?
Yeah.
Yes. I think they're both. I think they're trapped and I think they're stuck. I think they're trapped only because Bill Haney has burnt some bridges in the business as far as promoters to work with. I mean, they don't work with all the promoters except for Al Heyman. They done been on all the platforms except for Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus. They've been on the Zone already. They've been on Showtime before they ran over with Bob. So I think they're only trapped because of the other promoters. They tired of losing money off of this guy. They're sick of it.
But why did they
Bill,
let it keep happening, Mr. It's finna call you Mr. Great Manager Marty? Why did they let it keep happening?
I was very ecstatic. Say it again, 2 cents.
You breaking up, Marty?
You breaking up, Manager Marty? We can't hear you no more.
2 cents. You got to play that Rolly clip and have Marty explain that what exactly how that works. Them selling their percentage if they wanted to.
Gotta get them back on first.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much basically saying like the zone could have bought like put up the money for Devin Haney. I guess for a part of the fight as well. I'm not for sure, but
I really don't know what he's talking about.
Manager Marty, I want to play.
Rolly. Now he don't know what he's talking about.
His own. Why would they have a third
Man, Hacker, shut up. I'm not asking you a question.
DHP is a whole promotional company. Why would they have that?
Man,
with no money.
They'll hold nothing.
They're a whole promotional company.
Hold on, real quick. Let me ask. I want to ask Boxer Hacker.
Yeah.
So when you say DHP is a whole promotional company, right?
Yeah.
And I love Devin. I ain't got no problem with DHP, none of that.
You still sound.
But for them to be a full promotional company, they should be able to put shows on for themselves. And if they have a star fighter that's gonna be in a situation where we're negotiating and having a situation or a fight with Tom Brown, and we splitting this thing. So Rolly comes out. Hold on. Let me finish. Yeah. Rolly comes out and says that, well, hey, I'm gonna get paid this anyways because this is what I'm owed from Tom Brown and the PBC, whatever. So with Devin, if they're a true promotional company, he shouldn't have to worry about getting paid anything from anybody else because they're splitting this. So DHP should be able to pay him whatever he needs to be paid, and the fight should be able to be made. Would you disagree?
That's not how it works, though. So that's not how it works. One thing. And also,
why not? Why not? Why do you disagree with that? Why do you disagree?
Let me explain. So let's put in context what Devin actually said about because he actually said what happened in the negotiations, right? He said that PBC. So
just answer the question, nigga. Quit trying to run us around the block.
He said that PBC gave him a list of expenses that were up to $6 million, and he wasn't gonna make $1 until after the $6 million. And after the
PBC wasn't gonna make money until they weren't gonna make money.
Hold on, guys. Let me just explain for 1 second. TGB is not putting up any money.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're talking from a promotional standpoint.
I don't know why you asked this nigga a question.
When you say that they weren't gonna make money, DHP
PBC is not a promotional company.
Hold on. Tom Brown.
Tom Brown's not putting up any money.
Okay. Calm down.
So where the fuck was they getting the money from?
From PBC.
Hold on.
This nigga is stupid, bro.
I can't even.
What's stupid about that?
Hold on. Go ahead,
ask this nigga no more questions.
And then, Manager Marty, I want to play this video because we had a question about something that Rolly said, and maybe you could answer it for us. You there, Manager Marty?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Doug.
Let me just answer you real quick.
Hold on, Box Hacker. Go ahead, Doug.
All I'm saying is if Devin if he had this financial situation going as a promoter, the other promoter had that same situation going on. So you agree with that, right?
No, and Tom Brown's not putting up any money.
Hold on, man.
I don't know why y'all keep saying that. PBC is putting up the money, the network.
God.
Yeah, so let's put that in context. Let's put it in correct context. Neither one of those people are DHP and TGB are getting a split after the $6 million. Devin explained this. So what Devin says that
Devin he's gonna get the same split. He's getting the same split that they're gonna get afterward.
Hold on.
Yes. So
They gotta. They have
let
to.
me
They
just
have
answer
to
your
put the.
question.
Hold on, Hacker.
Why you ask me a question and keep cutting me off?
No, calm down. I didn't ask you nothing. You just started talking.
All right, go ahead.
I'm explaining to you. The
Yes.
same way, if I'm gonna say that I'm a promotional company, right?
Yes.
I'm running this thing, and I'm dealing with another promotional company.
Yeah.
Then that $6 million that
Yeah.
Tom Brown, the PBC, that's the same $6 million they have to deal with. It's the same $6 million that Devin got to deal with, and then you make your money
No.
after that.
No,
Hold on,
that's
calm
not
down,
that
calm
works.
down, calm down.
That
You
is
out of
how that
order.
works.
Can I
Calm
please just
down, man.
read y'all a
I
description?
can't even.
and y'all
Can I
just-
fit? I can't even. Go ahead.
So let me just say real quick.
Hold on, Boxing Hacker, because I want to play this clip real quick. Got a question for you, man, Jamarty.
We gave you 50%. You could have sold it off to the zone, but you're paid on a we sent the whole deal and everything. But you want to go play like you're a promoter and all this stuff, but then you're like, oh, but we still need you. We want you to cover everything. We'll cover your end. We gave you 50%. You could have sold it off to the zone, but the zone didn't want to deal with them.
But it would be unification. It would be a big fight. He's a champion. You're a champion.
It would have been a big fight, but you know, it's called betting.
Manager Marty, the
It's
question
called
we
betting
had
on
was-
yourself. It's called betting on yourself.
Hold
That's
on,
what
niggas.
he
He's
just
talking to
said.
Marty, niggas.
Manager
Damn.
Marty, the question we had was, what does he mean by they could have sold? He could have sold his 50% to the zone, but the zone didn't want to deal with him.
Well, first, let me tell you that I spent some time with Band Up over the weekend and we switched phones. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that with the
Y'all
static.
leave
My
that
bad.
freaking violence alone, man.
No.
Freaking violence.
Shout out to Band Up. I didn't go to Seattle. So here's the thing. So here's how it works, right? So Devin Haney is not a promoter. DHP is not a promotion company. I just want to be clear. I know Boxing Hackers are excited over this, but Devin Haney is not a promoter, bro. DHP is not an actual promotional company. TGB Promotions is the lead promoter in this fight between Rolly and Devin. And I have to correct you, Boxing Hacker. TGB is actually the promoter, and he definitely does have to put up money. There's no question about that. When it comes to how it really works, and let me just be clear on this. So when you have a promoter, the promoter goes, and I explained this before, but I'm going to do it again real briefly. The promoter goes to the network, and the network and the promoter sit down and they make an agreement and they say, hey, look, the promoter says, look, I have the product. Okay. This is how much we're charging for the product. And how we're going to charge you is through a license fee. What is the license fee? In layman's terms, is basically the fighter signed to a promoter. And I told you this before. When the fighter signs to the promoter exclusively, the obligation that the fighter have is to basically license his or her image and likeness to the promoter. Why? Because the promoter is the one that have to sit down with the network or streaming platform like the Zone and charge the Zone a licensing fee based on all the fighters that's under this contract with the promoter. Now, why is that so important? It's important because the Zone will say, we'll give you one lump sum to promote this event, put this event on, facilitate this event for the fighters that you have under contract. And of course, the promoter has an option to call other promoters and matchmakers to get and managers to get their fighters on the same card for a fee. But anyway, the point that I'm bringing up is that when the Zone pays that lump sum, they're paying it up front because they're going to continue to make residuals off of the likeness and image of this fighter even after the event is over. When they have on demand on their platform where you can go right on the Zone a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year, 2 years later, after the fight is well over, they're going to put it on their platform on the on-demand feature, and they're going to also publish it on YouTube. And so does the actual promoter. For an example, if you go on Devin Haney's platform, Devin Haney, his actual YouTube channel, you will not find him fighting Ryan Garcia on there. There's a reason for that. And that goes to prove my point. And I actually made this point last year. But the promoters have the actual exclusive rights to be able to publish the likeness and image of the actual fighter. And I say promoter sensitively because at this point, the streaming platform, the Zone, is the de facto promoter.
Let me get this super chat real quick, Madra Marty.
All right.
1942 Nitro says in entertainment, actors, artists, athletes, and all secure a guarantee up front and then eat on the back end. Back end only is for people with no leverage. Getting money from the network is a power move. Shout out to Nitro in the building with the 9.99 in the super chat.
and
All
and
right.
and and
Go ahead,
and,
bro.
and so and so what it is what the back end, what that does is secures the promoter. Because remember, the promoters are taking the risk, not Devin Haney. Devin Haney is not taking any risks, and he don't want to take any risks. That's why he just want a guaranteed check. It's almost like if you call a plumber or an electrician at your house. Well, they're gonna just come and do a job, get paid, and then it's over. Well, that's what Devin Haney's used to. He's not used to somebody saying, "Well, look, we're not obligated to you. You're not obligated to us, but we are going to make sure you get paid." However, after all of these expenses get paid, and that's where the rubber meets the road. After the expenses are paid, the two fighters will then come together and say, hey, we're going to split the profit 50-50. Now, what Rolly is talking about when he's telling Devin Haney, well, you could have sold yours back to the Zone. Remember, the money came to the TGB promotions. When the Zone cut the check, they
Thank you.
cut the check for TGB and PBC fighters that's going to be on that card. They cut that check to them. They didn't cut that check to Devin Haney. Devin Haney at this point is a free agent, and he's acting as such. So what Rolly is basically saying is, look, if you're trying to say that this 50% that you're going to get, where we're splitting it right down the middle, is not enough, well, why don't you go see if you can bargain with the Zone directly? In other words, is we still not obligated. Our side's not obligated to pay you a guarantee. I know Devin
Yeah.
is so used to Turkey doing that, but remember, Turkey was going through promoters. Turkey never put on a show without a promoter. If you go back and look at all the cards from the Riyadh season, every fighter on those cards, most I would say, I wouldn't say every fighter because you got them 4 rounds and 6 rounders, right? They can get called by any matchmaker. But those ones that's televised on that the Zone platform, you better believe they all have a promoter. That's why you saw Eddie Hearn there. You saw Queensberry Promotions there with Frank Warren. You're seeing Bob Arum there. All of their fighters, De La Hoya, all of their fighters, most of them were on the same card because the Zone is paying the check to Turkey, and then Turkey is divvying the money down to the promoter, not to the fighter directly. But see, like Rolly said, the Zone didn't want to deal with Devin and them because they know Devin and them ain't no company. No disrespect to those guys, but they don't owe them a conversation. They already paid the check to TGB. They already paid the money up front for the product. So that's what Rolly is basically saying. Nobody owes Devin Haney anything after the expenses are paid for. And remember, the Zone and TGB, they get their money a different way. For an example, and I have to educate you all on this. Let's say the closed circuit money, because the promoter get that too. What's the closed circuit money? Well, the closed circuit money is simply this. When you go to your local bar, when you go to Dave and Buster's, when you go to I'm just trying to think of different places in Philly, but let's say your local bar, let's say the movie theater when PBC was putting them fights on in the movie theater, right? It's the same thing. They can't play those fights live on pay-per-view. I'm talking about the owners of these bars. They can't play the Zone's streaming platform for free. They paid for that. That wasn't free for the owner of that bar. And what happens is the promoter makes money through the closed circuit. And so that's how the Zone and the promoter, that's one of the many ways they will get their money back. So when you got these two guys that's going in there talking 50% and 50%, that's after the expenses. The other ancillary rights, the licensing fees, the site fees, the closed circuit, that don't have nothing to do with the fighters. That's between the network or in this place, the streaming platform and the promoter. They don't have to disclose that. What we talking about right now is after all of the expenses are paid for, and we're talking about paying the fighters their purse for the main event, y'all both going to take 50-50 of the actual profit. It don't get no better than that. But because Devin Haney and them are not secure or confident that they are going to do well, because remember, when you start talking about ticket sales, and I have to say this because this is as equally as important, these fighters are used to selling tickets. We see them on TV now. But remember, these same fighters that's 24-0, these same fighters that's 22-0, remember, they was 4-0 before. Remember, they was 6-0 before. What do you think they were doing? They were selling tickets. The promoter gives these fighters a certain amount of tickets. It don't matter if you on TV or not. This is how the game go. Look, here go 100 tickets. We'll give you 5% or 10% off of the total tickets that you sell. That's how the business work. So it's nothing changed because you see these fighters on TV. No, when they was up and coming and they was fighting on these cards, oh, they had to sell tickets. What it is Devin Haney and them know they reached their ceiling already. This is why they're comfortable with the guarantee, because they don't believe that they can outsell Rolly in Las Vegas. That's just the honest to God truth. Now, I can understand if they was in New York and Bill Haney lives in New York, but Devin
They got
doesn't.
banned in New York.
Right, but I'm
Remember
just
they got banned.
right, but I'm just saying I can see if they lived all across the country, meaning they live on a whole different coast where they're not as comfortable of their fan base coming all the way over to travel. Right now, somebody can say, "Well, Manager Marty, that don't make sense." Okay, well, let's take a page out of Matchroom book and what they're doing to Boots. They had Boots fight at the Wells Fargo. It's called the Xfinity Mobile Arena now. But they had the young man fighting 3 times in a year and a half. Why you think they did that? Twice within a matter of 4 months. Because he's home. And you always supposed to sell big at home. But here we got Devin Haney who live in Vegas and he still can't sell at home. That's a problem. And we're not even talking about the T-Mobile Arena, y'all. We talk about the MGM. And we know how small that is compared to T-Mobile. So that's the issue that at hand. So what Rolly is saying is, look, if you're not secure and confident in selling and splitting this 50-50, then why don't you go talk to the zone and see if you can take that 50 and go sell it back to them and see if they can give you a guaranteed check, which Rolly know that's definitely not going to happen. And the zone is not going to talk to a fighter. They only deal with the big wigs. They only deal with the promoters because the promoters have the actual license to when I say license, I mean the actual physical license from that state to do business with the network. Want to know why? Because the promoter has to pay a fee every time a ticket is sold, no matter what state the fight happens in. The promoter has to pay. Who do they have to pay? They have to pay the athletic commission who's sanctioning the bout. And then when there's a streaming platform involved, there's a greater fee. So you have the ticket sales fee, which is a tax that they're being taxed by that state and the athletic commission. I'm talking about the promoters now. And there's another fee that has to be paid by the promoter to the state and the athletic commission because there's a streaming platform coming to record. Now, somebody can challenge me and say, Marty, that's not true. Well, let me give you an example. Go ask Top Rank and Bob Arum why they never had Terrence Crawford fight in his hometown under Top Rank. You never saw Terrence Crawford fight in Omaha, Nebraska at home on a streaming platform called ESPN. Want to know why? Because the fees were too astronomical and they didn't believe that they could get a recoupment back because Terrence Crawford's not a big ticket seller. So
Wow.
I'm saying all that to say that when boxing hacker says, and people listening to him when he says, well, the promoter don't have to put no money up, I'm telling you, boxing hacker, and the rest of you here, that's not true. The promoter got to put up a lot of money. So I just wanted to, park the school bus there, and I hope I answered.
Yeah, so let me just
All
respond.
right, it's
Hacker
on
dumbass, the
Juke.
only one saying that
I just
shit.
want to
It's
respond
on
to
Juke.
Juke.
Boxing hacker.
Yeah.
You're not about to this. It's on Juke. Go ahead, Juke.
Shut up, nigga.
I mean, I just wanted to respond because there was
Shut up, nigga. It's on
Hey,
you.
there you go. You back, Juke. Okay, it's Juke.
Hey.
Juke, and then it's on Boxing Hacker.
I want to thank Manager Marty for all his input. And I thank you for affirming a lot of things that I had to say because I've been watching. I'm not a manager. I don't work in the business, but I've been, watching boxing and kind of understood the business for a long time. longer than the average person on YouTube. And I mean, it's pretty clear, even in the definition of the job of promoter, which is to organize, finance, and market the event. So that's literally the crux of the position. So if you're saying, like as Boxing Hacker said, DHP is a whole boxing promoter, right? So as a whole boxing promoter, you're expected to do the primary functions of the job, which is organize, finance, and market the event. So when Devin said, "Oh, they brought me a list of expenses."
Hello, 2 cents. Y'all there?
Yeah. So
yeah.
You don't hear us, Manager Marty?
No, I can't hear nobody.
Okay, go out and come back in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
hold on, Jude. Let me get this super chat. Shout out to Kadir with the $4.99 in the super chat. He says, "This is very informative, especially for a casual like myself. Class in session." Shout out Kadir for the $4.99 in the super chat. Go ahead, Jude.
Oh, absolutely. Class is in session. I appreciate Manager Marty for educating us. And that's the thing. Like, we want to listen to learn, not just try to talk to be right, even when like you're fact. Like at this point, there are certain things that people have said that's factually wrong. Like it's still trying. It's like we're trying to argue that the sun isn't hot at this point. Is it the role of the boxing promoter is to organize, finance, and market boxing events? So as Devin said, he was presented with a list of expenses. Yes, because you're coming to the table as a promoter. And that's natural. And so you're coming. So the thing is, people don't want to pay the cost to be the boss. You want the title to say, I make my own moves. I'm doing X, Y, Z. And we kind of got a glimpse of this a year or two ago when Devin was kind of mad with Matchroom or upset that no one bid on the fight. And they were like, but you're a boxing promoter. You keep telling me you don't have to sign to me, which is fine. People love the idea of being independent, not to sign with anyone. It's just not as the life is not as glamorous as you want it to be. And Manager Marty had a good point. People keep marketing Haney as like this independent guy who don't sign anybody. He's always signed to somebody. He just has short-lived contracts. And he's signed to someone because he's never put up an event on his own. He can. I remember when the Charlos did a Lions only card in Houston. It was a small card, but they put up all the revenue. And they had fighters on there. It was a smaller card, local card in Houston. I was like, okay, respect to them. I've seen Danny Garcia did the same thing. I've seen these fighters do that. I saw that Earl did it when he was back in Frank Martin. And I remember Man Down Promotion was on the flyer because he had to put up some money. And the thing is that they want to live that lifestyle. Because I remember PBC had all these fighters that own promotional companies, but those promotional companies were getting revenue and had to pay something. So it's the thing is like they like the image, but they don't want to put in the work. So the idea that Haney's saying, "Oh, they brought these bills to me." Well, yeah, you're the boss, right? Since when is a boss been afraid of bills? That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what's crazy to me. Like, oh no, it's not fair. They brought him a list of expenses. Yes, because you're the promoter and you're supposed to cover said expenses. That's your job. If you can't cover those said expenses, you're not a promoter.
Especially if you want those promoter rights in that vacuum as a promoter.
And as Hacker said, they're a whole boxing promoter. Okay, well then pay your whole half. We going 50-50 in business, and then when the tab come, you gonna walk away. Brother, pay your part of the bill.
Say that again. Okay.
What is going on here? That's insane. Like, that's all I had to say. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Yo, so let me respond.
I bet the way that
hold up,
they'll be doing business for us with this. He had a lot of cats chasing after him back in the day, trying to put a bullet in his ass for not flipping his hand for the bill whenever the package came up.
Okay. Let me just respond real quick, right? So Manager Marty said that DHP is not a promotional company. Yes, it is. By way of definition, they are.
Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. Wait. Keep saying the same shit over and over, man. Nobody want to hear that shit.
Mr. Hager, do you have a new talking point? Do you have a new talking point?
I had to over and over. 20 minutes.
Can you address what I said?
I'm addressing Manager Marty first. I don't even
Hacker, do you have a new talking point?
Yes, please. Let me just
It
speak.
don't sound like it.
Let me just speak. So as far as I'm just responding to what Manager Marty said.
We don't want to hear you say nothing you said already, nigga.
As far as is DHP a promotional company? Yes, it is. And also, you said that Devin Haney has never been independent.
Throw this nigga in the back, man.
You said that Devin Haney has never been independent for more than 3 months. That's not true either. Devin versus Regis was a co-promotional fight. You can look that up. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia was a co-promotional fight. You can look that up.
He was signed to someone.
Hold on.
He wasn't the co-promoter. DHP was not the co-promoter.
Hold on. I did not jump in front of you guys.
But you saying bullshit. That ain't true.
It is true. It's true. You can Google that. You can 100% Google. You can 100% Google.
Y'all let Boxing Hacker talk, y'all.
Thank you, 2 Cent. You can 100% Google was Regis versus Devin Haney a co-promotional fight. You're on the computer right now. It's not hard to do. So the question is, was Devin Haney independent? Yes, he was his own entity going into those fights. So this whole
talking about when Eddie Hearn clowned him for wanting his logo on the banner, but
regardless of what happened there,
nigga already got clowned by.
So regardless of who clowned who, he standed as his own entity going into those fights. He was the There is no way around that. If you think I'm lying, your computers are in front of you. Now, as far as this
when this deal went bad,
as far as this whole situation with this deal, like people keep talking about what Rolly's saying, this and that. Nobody even is looking at what Devin was saying, his perspective.
You only looking at what Devin said.
I haven't. Let me clarify what Devin said, because I think people are
they obviously don't know what they're doing. Why are we listening to what they're saying? They don't know they got to cover expenses as a promotional company.
Let's at least hear both sides of the story. Devin Haney said that PBC, and you can look on his X page because it's still there. He said that PBC came with a list of expenses up to $6 million.
Yeah,
in which he was not going to get $1.
That's the money that they put in up.
As a promoter, that makes sense.
Hold on.
He should have. He's a promoter.
Hold on. Listen, I didn't jump in front of you guys. Just hold on. He said they came with a list of up to $6 million, in which he was not going to get $1 until after they pay those expenses.
That's the job of a promoter. Yes.
Listen,
that makes
I listened
sense.
to Manager Marty for 20 minutes. I listened to Jupe say whatever she was talking about.
Because you saying the same thing you heard already.
Wait.
You said this already.
Hold on. I have not finished. He was not getting the same shit.
Man, y'all let him land his plane, please.
Thank you, 2 Cent. Jesus.
The longer y'all talk, the longer he gonna go. Hurry up,
Listen,
the same shit.
Hold on, please. Devin said this is the Devin side of the story. He said that he's not getting $1 until after they pay off those expenses, which are up to $6 million, in which he has to split 50-50 Rolly Romero, who he claims that hasn't made up to $2 million. And Devin Haney, and this whole narrative of Devin Haney not betting on himself, he said that's not even the problem. The problem is that he has to believe in PBC wholeheartedly that they're there and do good with the expenses, which is up to $6 million, and the splits. He didn't feel comfortable with it. Because at this point, it's not about betting on yourself. It's literally about taking 100% faith into the PBC that they do right.
It ain't no 100% faith, Boxing Hacker. You got to get the paperwork. Do you have a new talking point? You already said that.
Right.
I got a question though. I got a question.
You have to bet on yourself.
This was a negotiation, right?
Wait. Y'all just like cutting people off.
Y'all
like singing your songs.
Y'all let him finish.
Y'all sing your songs, but you guys don't look at.
He just wasted our time telling us nothing. Let's see if he's gonna get something new. Please give him time.
Y'all singing songs, but don't want to look at Devin Haney's perspective.
You go from panel to panel saying the same thing.
I got a question.
I don't understand why it's like
it don't make sense. Because people don't explain it like 10 times.
Let me say this to Boxing Hacker. Hold on. Yeah. Manager Marty, let me ask you a question. Can you hear us, Manager Marty?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is my question. Boxing Hacker seems to think that when you do a deal that they just get to verbally tell you what the numbers are. You have to just blind faith believe them. Is that how it goes, or do they have to provide confirmation for what they're telling you?
So here's how it works, and I want to make this clear. The only reason why Devin Haney was shown the expenses in the first place is because TGB and Al Heyman was honoring the Muhammad Ali Reform Act. I said it on my channel. If Devin Haney was getting a guaranteed check, they would not have to show him anything because the expenses wouldn't be an issue for him. He wouldn't need to know what the expenses are to know how much he'll be getting paid because they gave him a guaranteed check. You never heard the Haneys talk about being in a position to see the expenses because they never had to be, because they always got a guaranteed check.
So he ain't
Okay.
selling nothing.
And this is why Terrence Crawford came back out after he fought Errol Spence and he did an interview on the platform. I got the tape, and he said, and I did a video on this, and he said that he was glad that he did the deal the way he did it after he got representation, because he realized that the promoters made way more money when he was getting guaranteed checks, because he couldn't see what the expenses and profits were, because he was just so used to getting the check. So I didn't hear nobody else say that. So if you did, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I said it in the beginning.
Yeah,
I said Bub been getting robbed for years.
Yeah.
because the thing about it is, when you sign for a guarantee, you have a minimum and you have a maximum. That's basically it. They'll pay you your minimum or your maximum, depending on how many rounds the fighter fight, depending on if it's a streaming platform or available that's recording or streaming the fight, because there's a licensing fee involved, so the fighter gets paid more, right? And I also have to say this: when I talked about all those expenses earlier, that was all a part of the $6 million. Don't forget, the promoter has to pay. Watch this, not one sanctioning body, but two. You got the WBA and the WBO. They are both the sanctioning bodies who have these belts that's on the line. The promoter has to pay all the fees for both titles. Not only that, all of the fighters and three of their companions, such as their trainer, cutman, and assist, they all have to get put in a hotel. They all have to get airfare, round trip. They all have to receive a per diem every day from Thursday to Sunday. I mean, the list can go, I can go on and on with all these expenses, okay? But these are all the expenses, including a surety bond. There's a surety bond that must be paid to the to the athletic commission every event. Every time someone clicks on to the zone to pay, let's say, what is it, $50 or $59 to see a Devin Haney versus a Rolly fight. Everybody that clicked on that, you might have paid the $59, but guess what? Every person that got that stream, the promoter has to pay a tax on each person, just like the promoter has to pay a tax on each person that purchased a ticket that goes to the event. There's so many different expenses that go into building an event. So when I hear somebody like a Devin Haney complaining, it's like, dude, you don't have to put up no money.
Exactly.
The only thing you gotta do is go in there and fight and get a check. I mean, that's really all you have to do. I mean, really, that's what it is. Because here's the thing: if he was really a promoter, he wouldn't be acting the way he's acting, because he would be used to doing this kind of business as a promoter. But because he's not a promoter, like I said, and I want to show you something, a boxing hacker, because you sound like you're so adamant that he's a promoter. You said that it was a co-promotion between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Did I hear you say that?
No, Regis.
You said both, nigga.
Both, you said Ryan. I can see, but I can hear better than I can see.
I said
he said
first,
it.
though.
He said it.
Yeah, I said. But
keep going. He said it.
Yeah.
You said I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
For Regis and Ryan, yes.
That they both were co-promotion.
Yes.
With Eddie Hearn.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question on that. Because I see you got your computer in front of you, right?
Sure.
Okay. No, seriously, do you really?
Go ahead. What's the question?
Do you have your computer with you?
Is that the question?
Yeah, I want to ask you something.
So, was your question, do I have my computer, or what's your question?
Yes. So
do you have a computer in front of you?
You have your computer in front of you.
Yes, I have my computer in front of me.
Okay. So let me share this with you. So if there was a co-promotion between Devin Haney and who was the co-promotion? Eddie Hearn?
DHP and Matchroom, yeah.
So it was DHP and Matchroom.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You have your computer. I want you to Google this.
For which fight? You talking about Regis?
Yeah, you said Regis, right? You said Regis. You said Regis Progress and Devin Haney. It was a co-promotion.
Yeah.
Okay. Who did the zone get a check to?
Who did they give?
Let me get this while you answer that question. 1942 Nitro says $4.99 in the super chat. Maybe he felt like the expense was too much compared to the projected revenue. I'd never put up money if I can't make it back unless it's the super chat. Shout out now.
What's the relevance?
You heard my question?
Yeah, I heard. What's the relevance to it, though?
Answer the question, nigga.
No, hold on. What's the relevance to it?
No, I'm going to tell you the relevance. I want to know who did the zone. It was a co-promotion between DHP Promotions.
Let's clarify one thing. So it was a co-promotional fight. So even if you say that Matchroom got the check, it was
No. I didn't ask you that. I want to know who got the check from the zone.
Let's clarify that part first. Was it a co-promotional fight? Yes or no?
Devin Haney Promotions is not a. Devin Haney has a license. Listen to me. Devin Haney. Hold on. Devin Haney has a license to promote. Everybody knows that he has a license.
And he has a promotional company called DHP.
Okay,
yes or no?
So tell me, who did the zone sign the check over to when it was a co-promotion? Who they signed the check over to?
Okay, before I answer that question, can we clarify?
It's very simple.
Let's say that he signed to Matchroom.
Just say you don't know, hoe ass nigga.
Boxing hacker. Listen, because this is what you keep doing. Listen, do they have a promotional company? Yes. They have listen. They have the paperwork filed to be a promotional company. That's not the argument, Boxing Hacker. So stop it. No, that's not the argument.
What's the argument?
No, listen. The argument is: are they do they operate as a promotional company? And the answer is no, they don't. So stop it. No, they don't. That's what we're telling you. They don't cover expenses. They don't.
You're such a man fan.
They don't cover
this shit is nasty.
They don't cover licensing fees. All that shit that Manager Marty was just talking about. They not paying the tax on every ticket sold and every pay-per-view sold. They're not handling any of that. So are they operating as a promotional company?
Yes.
No, they're not operating as a promotional company if all it's guarantees.
Y'all got to listen to this man.
When a promotional company gets a bad offer,
wait.
When a promotional company gets a bad offer, don't they make counter-offers?
Let's clarify one thing, right?
Man, shut up, nigga. Let's go answer the question.
In a negotiation, if a promotional
fights.
company got a bad fucking offer, would they make a counter offer?
Sure, but they have to be open to it.
All right, so what was the counter offer that DHP sent to PBC when after the deal? Hold on, after the deal that was once good, that Devin Haney and his team agreed were good. When they decided that deal went bad, all of a sudden, what was the counter offer that this promotional company, the promotional company that you know is DHP, what did they send to the PBC that made the negotiations fall through? If they're a promotional company.
Yeah, we weren't privy to that conversation. Does that mean it didn't happen? It doesn't mean that. But we weren't privy to that. We know what Devin said. We know what Ryan said. I mean,
we don't know.
I have a question, you guys.
But a promotional company may know offer.
Hold on, y'all. Listen, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. We're having a nice, high IQ, intelligent boxing conversation tonight here on 2 Cents Live. If you haven't already, punch that like and subscribe button. I need 100 likes by the time I get off this live. We got somebody new on the panel. Shout out 1942 Nitro in the building.
Yo, salute to the panel. Salute 2 Cents.
What's up? Oh, you made it tonight. What's your 2 cents?
I told you it's really past my bedtime, but I set my alarm this time just so I could join.
Shout out to Nitro.
Past your bedtime?
Yeah, I got work in the morning.
What's up? What you got for the show? We ain't gonna keep you too late.
No, I just had a question. And again, this is a genuine question. I like Devin Haney boxing, but I'm not really a big fan of his moves and stuff like that. But my question is it possible for there to be a business model where two things can be true? You accept a guarantee and you also get back-end participation. Like, for example, in acting, right? Robert Downey Jr., he got a guaranteed check to shoot the Marvel movies, but then he also got back-end money for how well the movie did. So is that a possibility?
That's PBC's model. That's PBC's whole business model.
But the difference is you get low guarantee. higher percentage from PBC.
Hacker, you don't know shit about business. Let someone else answer, man.
Hold on.
You sure don't know shit about boxing.
I want to answer.
No, because I'm just saying, like, if they went to Devin with a list of expenses for what was it, $6 million, and he didn't, and he believes that, all right, maybe I don't want to pay the $6 million, maybe I'll pay $4 million, and then maybe I feel like I should get a bigger split than 50-50 because Rolly's only made X money and I've made Y money, or Rolly's only sold X tickets and I sold Y tickets.
Let me say
like,
this to you, Nitro. The reason why this is even they're even coming at Devin and with the expenses is because if he was just a fighter, things would be a little different. But they're coming as a co-promotion, which means they want to split everything profits 50-50. Whatever promoters profit or whatever they get, the promoter get the money and then they pay the fighter, right? So they want to get paid. So yeah, he's not coming as like, I'm just the fighter. I want a guarantee and I want back in. No, he's coming like the promoter, like this is a co-promotion, like whatever the promoter split and get, that's what Bill wants. And then Bill pays Devin type of situation. But what PBC is saying, like, okay, if you're gonna do that, that's cool, but you gotta cover some of these expenses. We don't get to foot the bill and then we split the profit with you as if you're the promotional company. No, we're not doing that. But go ahead, Juke.
I have to say this. So I get what you're saying, like in terms of the Robert Downer Jr. I'm sorry, I can't say his name right. Robert Downey Jr. Lord Jesus, late. Sorry. In that case, okay, yes, he was given like maybe some upfront and revenue. You gotta remember that man been famous since I was a child. That man been famous for like decades, right? So I think he would be more comparable to a Canelo, right? Because just his namesake and image is going to bring revenue. For example, Canelo did get like some nice upfront money, whatever, because you know he has the numbers to back it, right? Now, let's say Canelo says, "Hey, I also want my promotional company, a part of this." That means Canelo promotional company will have to back maybe a portion of his guarantee. It will have to have some expenses involved. However, that's the difference. Like if I'm bringing over a huge name, that's going to bring more eyes to my entity, to the network that I'm working with. Then yeah, you're gonna kind of like lay everything out and be like, okay, here you go. That's not who Devin is. Devin's not Canelo. He's not Robert Downey Jr. You see what I'm saying? Like Robert Downey Jr. I mean, that's a huge star. Like for him to be in Marvel was kind of insane if you really know who he was, like pre-Marvel. So that name recognition, if Devin held that name recognition, kind of like how when Tank was about to have the Jake Paul fight and how they kind of like offered him all this extra money up front, it's because his name carries the viewership that they want in Netflix. It's a reason why they're not giving all these deals to other fighters that's his contemporaries. So that's a different realm. But I will say this, I think that I get what people are saying about, at the end of the day, are you a boxing entity? Are you you can be technically a boxing company, a boxing promoter. But the thing is, once you start, if you're a boxing promoter, that's like me being a waitress. And then you say, hey, could you go bring the food to the table, and I get mad. That's what's crazy about this. The things that Devin is upset about and saying they brought me this list of expenses, that's a part of the job. That's what's crazy about it. That's literally your job is to pick up a portion of the tab because you're taking the risk. So that's what's so asinine about this whole conversation. And to Manager Marty's point, if you were truly a promoter, if you function as a promoter, if you had the ability to function as a promoter, this discussion wouldn't be had. So let's say he says, okay, well, I don't feel like me and Rolly should get 50-50 because Rolly hasn't sold that much. Okay, fine. The difference is I can see why PBC can say we got to meet in the middle because we're providing the network. And as Rolly said, how come the zone didn't back you? You got to remember. So we have these expenses. This is our network that we're bringing to the table. You're not bringing networks to the table. So we're already bringing more to the table than you. So the least you can do is split the expenses, even if you feel like you sell a bit more than Rolly. And if not, tap into zone. But that's something I really want to delve into, and we can stop arguing this other silliness because Devin don't want to do the job that he claims he wants to do. I want to delve into what Rolly said about the zone's involvement and their resistance to being involved, because that's interesting to me. But yeah, so I think that Robert Downey Jr. comparison is not really accurate, because Devin, as good as a fighter as he is, as much as I like him, he's not on that level.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know he's not a megastar like that. I was just using that as an example because that's just what I understand about that side of the business and the contracts.
Let me get the super chat real quick. Shout out to Mr. Greg. $5 in the super chat. He says DHP is not an accredited entity. They have not met the standards of the Better Business Bureau, which is one of the reasons promoters don't want to be bothered with them. Shout out, Mr. Greg.
We don't have to meet the Better Business Bureau.
Can I say something about this before you go on? I understand back and forth. I don't understand hacker who doesn't understand promotion. One of the things I have done in my life at work has been entertainment promotion. I did it with clubs because I was pretty good there. The first time I tried to step up was the Warner Theater which was with Grace Jones. The money changed what they wanted in terms of performing, and it was beyond what I was willing to spend. So I had to give up that promotion because, again, the money that had to be spent was the issue for me. So Tiger Flower, which was a promotion company here, they were nationwide, and that's how I came to know who Al Heyman was as well. But Tiger Flower took it over, and they foot the upfront money. This is the same thing I think has happened with Devin Haney. When the bill was presented to him of how much it was going to cost, they didn't have the money, but they still wanted to be in the deal. I felt the same way, but I understood I ain't got the money to stay in the game right now. So I had to either back away or give up the deal and take what was called, which turned out to be just a finder's fee. But that was a learning experience for me. What I just said about Devin Haney, that's true. That's listed. Yeah. There is a promotional company that they put together in 2018.
Yeah.
They only have one complaint, but they have not met the standards of the Better Business Bureau. Meaning that if you're not meeting a standard, hacker, one of those standards is something just like this: having the money to do business.
Matchroom and Golden Bar are not part of the BBB either. I don't understand what that even means.
Well, stop. Meeting standards is one of the things you have to do in business, and you're going to have to get accredited. This is why the zone doesn't want to mess with them, and some of the other big.
They're not part of the BBB.
Because you have to have the money to do business, hacker. It doesn't matter what it is.
But what's that got to do with the Better Business Bureau?
Let Mr. Greg talk,
just
nigga.
Listen, boxing hacker. Just
stupid
listen.
motherfucker.
It's the standard that you meet, boxing hacker, when you're going to go into the world of business. You have to meet standards. I don't care what business it is, be it entertainment, be it boxing, be it movies. There are standards you have to meet. Those who in the business who have the money don't want to be bothered with somebody who doesn't have the money and can't meet the standards. You use the Crawford situation, which I hate bringing up, but as a fan of Crawford, you can go to Manager Marty's site and you'll see. I even said once he got away from Top Rank and wanted to be his own boss, he didn't know what he was doing. He had one thing: he had a belt and he had some fights. He had no money to call any shots, but he wanted to anyway, until he got good representation, what Marty came back with and said. That's how suddenly things fell into place. And he got the money that he wanted, but he only got it because he had good representation. Devin Haney and his father, or however they running their business, are not good representation of what promoters are, which is why they don't have a fight right now. You have to accept that. You can say that they are. You can say they are promoters. Yeah.
Can I ask a question to that?
That's not true, right? Because let's put this in perspective. As far as the Better Business Bureau, right? Matchroom, which is also a promotional company that is used, right?
Mark Tucker, I'm about to kick you off of here. Because all you
that
can
shit
focus
getting
on is the
annoying,
Better
bro.
Business Bureau. You're not even paying attention to what he's
God
saying as
damn.
a
I heard exactly
whole.
what he said. He
This
said
nigga's
that
annoying
they
as
don't work
fuck,
with him because he's
man.
not part of the BBB. That's not
I'm
true.
just
No,
showing
he
you,
said
Hacker, they
they don't
don't
want to
meet
work
the
with him because he
standard.
don't meet the
Yeah,
standard.
what standard does Matchroom operate under? What are we talking about?
They
What
have
are
the
vulnerable?
money.
Which
They
They
have
have
the
the
vulnerable
money.
capital.
They have the money.
If
They
you
have
would
the
have
capital.
listened, you would know the answer to your question, my nigga.
Huh?
Good
You talking
lord.
about
Can I ask a question to that,
There's two
and then
different
I'm
things.
going back
Better
to the
Business Bureau,
comments.
and then we're talking about money.
Go ahead,
Right?
Nitro. Go ahead,
As far as
Nitro.
Like, because so I hear what I'm not sure who that was just talking, so I don't mean no disrespect, but I hear what you're saying. But at some point, there's always like a pioneer that introduces a new business model or a new approach. So would it be possible? And this is me genuinely asking. I don't even give a fuck about none of these fighters as people. I'm a fan of the sport. So would it be possible to say like, all right, I'm going to negotiate because I don't want to pay that big of the expenses, right? So I don't want to pay the 6 million. Maybe I'd be cool with paying 3 million, but I'll negotiate a smaller guarantee. Is that type of thing possible within the business of boxing or negotiations or whatever?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
possible, but you're still putting up some money.
But they
And
don't want to
so-
pay
And
nothing.
I think Sin brought it up too. What was the counter offer? If there was one at all.
We don't know that, right? Because
Well,
No,
this
I
is-
said if there was one at all, but we
Yeah,
don't.
we don't know if there
thing,
was or
Nitro.
not.
This is the thing,
But-
Nitro. They
but
didn't
hold
ask
up.
him to pay 6 million. They said the expenses were 6 million. They were to split it, so they weren't asking him to pay 6 million. He would pay half of those expenses. So when you're saying there's a different business model, are you saying there's a different business model where you can demand and you want recognition for everything, but don't have to pay for anything?
No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm literally just asking.
You just
Like
asked a question,
I'm speaking in these big overstated statements. This is for my learning. This is the way I learn.
No, I
You
get
know
what you're
what I'm
saying.
saying?
But okay, listen to this. This is what I'm saying. This isn't that complicated for us to have like hypotheticals. It's very basic, very common sense. If you and I say we want to build a business and we're going and we're both joint promotional,
Right.
we now have to look at the expenses, and we're gonna, like, for example, I recently just as like I was a part, and I've done nonprofit events. I've done some events for profit. I just recently, a couple months ago, was a part of doing an event, and we had a lot of expenses. We understood that we understood what our expenses were and what it would mean before we can reach a profit. But we also, sometimes when you start off, you know you're not going to make as much. Sometimes you want to get the name recognition and then you're going to take off. But that's just something when you want to get in the game. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you.
At
I'm
the
with
end of
you.
the day, so if you and I decide to do a business and we're going and we're joints, the bill is the bill. And now what you could do is say, okay, maybe we can cut expenses here and there. Then you say that and you find a way for us to cut those expenses. You do.
Right.
That's it. So there's no, there's not, like, we're making this more complicated than what it is. At the end of the day, you want to play ball and be a businessman, but then it's time to pay the bill. You don't want to do it. There's no need for you to put all these hypotheticals in the situation. You can't say we want to rent out a food truck. The bill comes for $1,000, the cost of the food truck and the food. And you're like, well, there's another way I can get out of paying it and you pay it all. No, that's cheating. That's unfair. Period. Like, these are basic concepts. We're too grown to be even debating this. This conversation shouldn't have even lasted this long.
So
You either have the credentials to be a promoter.
real.
You either have the money and credentials to be a promoter, or you don't. If you don't have the money, sit down, be a fighter, and do your thing.
Yeah, so
Period.
well, I just want to respond to this, right? Like, so I just want to put this out there. As far as this whole conversation about the Better Business Bureau, Matchroom is a British-owned company, right? They're not part of the Better Business Bureau.
Boxing hacker. We're not talking
has
about
nothing
that.
to
Let
do
it
with the
go.
whole
Let it
situation.
go, bro.
I just want to put this out there because I want.
No, we don't need to talk about that,
Yeah,
bro. Let it
let's
go.
not have a misconception.
What
And
part
this-
of no you don't understand, bro?
The conversation that the only problem Devin has is that he doesn't trust PBC with the books. Like, I don't know. This is the rocket science that people are skipping.
Yeah, I hear you,
going
Mr.
around
Martin.
saying that
I
he
hear
doesn't
you.
want to bet on himself. He's not saying none of that. He's saying, hey, like, I'm a third party. I don't trust you guys to do all the
If you don't
numbers
trust them,
correctly.
don't come to them wanting
Yeah,
to
so he's not saying
don't come to them as a promoter saying you want joint promotion if you don't trust them. The second he did that, all that conversation about not trusting them went out the window. You came as a joint entity.
I understand
Meaning
what
you
you're
have
saying.
you have all this. Think about it. He knew
Yeah.
everything they were paying for. He got to see everything that people complains about. You went to them as a joint entity saying, I'm equal to you. So now you see the expenses. If you can find a way to make these expenses cheaper, he had the ability to do so. You don't get to come and say, well, I want to do business with you, but I don't trust you. Then take your ass back to the zone and shut up.
So wait.
Hey,
He's not even part of the zone. I don't know why
so
he's
my
doing
my
that. So like, as far as what happened, right? He didn't sign because he didn't feel comfortable with what they were offering.
Okay,
I'm not
great.
trying to hear that. Devin is called
This is as far as it goes.
Can I
It's
say
not about
something?
him not
Can I
being
say
able
something real
He's
quick?
a duck.
Hold on, one mic.
Let me just respond real quick.
Can I say something real
Land
quick?
your plane, Boxing Hacker. Then I'm gonna let
It's
Manager
not
Marty
about
go.
him not being here to sell, not bet on himself. No, he was giving set values that it's only coming from PBC's side. Yes, the Ali Act is supposed to protect fighters from certain robberies like that, right? However,
So
PBC
who else he's supposed to get the expenses from, Boxing
Saying
Hacker?
the same thing over
but
and
guess
over
what?
and over,
It's
man.
still
Why did
coming
he
through
go out and
PBC.
get the expenses? Why did he go
Because
out and get the expenses?
can I tell you why?
Why did
Can
he
I
go?
tell you why?
He could have
I
did
can tell
that.
you why.
Because he's lazy.
I can tell you why. Can I tell you why?
Let me just respond.
Because he ain't
I
no
can
real
tell you.
He
promoter.
I
doesn't
can tell you
trust
why.
him.
Hold on.
And
I can tell you why.
Hold on, Boxing
I
Hacker.
can
Let
speak.
Manager Marty
myself.
answer the
I can speak for
question.
myself.
Okay,
Go ahead,
I can tell you why.
I can speak for myself. Hold on one second. I can speak for
let
myself.
him answer the question.
Go ahead,
Let
go ahead.
him answer the question. Go ahead,
I
Manager
can
Marty.
I can tell you all why. It is very simple. I know Boxing Hacker, you came up here with this narrative and I have to destroy it
I
right
don't
now.
need to know why you.
Okay,
why
but let
you
me
want.
finish. Let me finish. Listen.
I didn't get to finish.
Okay,
I'm gonna
listen.
let you finish. Let him answer the
Why you
question.
The
saying
reason
for
why
the last 10 hours? Hush.
this was not a co-promotion for Devin Haney. Let's be clear on that. PBC and Tom Brown, they came to Devin Haney because Devin Haney is a fighter. And here's the proof in all of it. They did all of the work that promoters do before they talk to Devin Haney. They secured the venue before they talk to Devin Haney. That's what promoters do. They secured the check with the licensing fees that the zone agreed to pay before coming to Devin Haney, which is what promoters do. They secured the actual date. That's what promoters do. Before they came to Devin Haney, this is no different than a promoter coming or a matchmaker coming to any other fighter that does not have any leverage or promotion company. It's very simple, y'all. When Rolly Romero came out on the interview and talked about the offer that was made to Devin, he was saying that because the representation of Rolly Romero, the promoter, already sent Devin Haney the term sheet the same way they did Terrence Crawford. It's no different. They did all of the hard work because TGB is the lead and only promoter for this event. DHP is not a co-promotion in this event. Now watch this, and I'm glad that Mr. Greg brought it up because that's what I wanted Boxer Hacker to take out his computer and look up how long has Devin Haney and DHP Promotions been in business. And we all found out it was 2018. You mean to tell me that DHP Promotions have been a promotion company since 2018 and they have never secured a network deal? But Zuffa Boxing, who've been in the sport for less than 6 months, they secured the deal with Paramount Plus. All of the promoters, all of the promoters in this business have secured a deal. ESPN is no longer here. Top Rank secured this deal with who? The Zone. Queensberry, The Zone. Matchroom, The Zone. Golden Boy Promotions, The Zone. Zuffa Boxing, Paramount Plus, and PBC. PBC is Amazon Prime, and MVP, which is Jake Paul, is Netflix. You can't find not a network deal or streaming platform that's connected to Devin Haney.
Sure.
That proves my point.
No, it doesn't.
Please stop telling me that he's a promoter. They
That does
did
not
all of
prove
the
any
work.
point.
Hold on, Boxing Hacker. They did all of the work. If it was a co-promotion, like you're saying, both of them would have sat down with the Zone. Both of them would have sat down with the executives at MGM Grand. Both of them would have secured the date because it's a co-promotion. That means that both promoters are sharing the expenses. They're sharing the footwork, the leg work, and everything else that comes with it. but they already secured everything before coming to Devin. And that's the whole point. Devin Haney don't have to put up no expenses because he ain't a promoter, and this is not a co-promotion. Now,
Well,
when
they
I
gave
say
him a
he's not a,
choice.
huh?
Go ahead. Don't worry about me.
When I say he's not a promoter, I don't mean he don't have a license. I don't mean that he doesn't have an entity as an LLC registered in Nevada. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about doing the actual work as a promoter. You can't name one person that Devin Haney done signed and brought up in the rankings
Amari
as a
Jones.
promoter.
Amari Jones.
Amari Jones signed with Amari Jones is not signed to Devin Haney.
He
Go
was
look
signed
it
from
up.
previously. Did you forget?
You
said I can't find one person. I just called one person.
Amari Jones is not signed to DHP.
He was signed with PBC.
When?
He was signed with
So,
DHP.
tell me. When did they put on the show for him?
He was signed with DHP Promotion.
Okay, tell me when they put a show on for him then.
What's I gotta do anything? He was signed with DHP.
A promotion
That's crazy, bro. See what I mean? Man, you do this shit all the time, dog.
Boxing hacker. I know. Boxing
I
hacker.
don't know where we're going with this.
That's like me having. I got a bakery, but I've never baked a cake.
Frank Martin was signed to freaking Man Down Promotion. What are we talking
Boxing
about?
hacker. Name the
Man down
listen.
is on the event
Name
before,
the
so it's Lions only.
Right. Name the show. Name the show that they put on for that kid. Name the show.
But I know that he was signed to
Because
WWE.
You got the computer in front of you.
So he
How
never.
about that?
So he never did
Let's
the
keep
job
let's
on
keep an
promote.
argument. See, people want to
So
move
to
the
your
goalposts. People want to move
He's
the
not
goalposts.
act. What I'm saying is he's not doing. Listen, what I'm
Devin Haney
saying.
Promotion
They've never done the
is
job.
a
on
They
promotional
never done the
company.
job.
This is-
Boxing hacker. You just want to argue.
Wait. Hold on, guys. Hold up. And this is
Boxing
mad.
hacker. Hold on.
DTP
Time out.
Promotion.
Boxing hacker. What are you not getting, boxing hacker? What are you not getting? I don't even know what you're arguing.
He's
not
He's
arguing
just trying to
anything.
get it 2 cents. He wants to argue because he doesn't want to admit he was wrong.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Listen. Because I got best videos up here. What's up, best videos?
Oh, best videos, my guy. What's up, big dog?
Hey.
You there?
Yeah,
so
I'm here.
this is the whole point, boxing hacker. DHP. They're not official promoters. They're not putting money up for fights. They're not covering expenses. If it's not a welfare check from the Saudi government, they don't want no parts of it. That's what Bill came out and said. He said, when you're dealing with Turkey, you don't got to worry about all the stuff that you have to deal with when you're an actual promoter. He literally came out and said that out of his mouth. So do they have the paperwork to be a promoter? Yes, they do. Do they have the funds to be a promoter? No, they don't, because they're not putting up the money. So
they're not doing nothing.
So there's nothing left for you to argue, boxing hacker.
There is.
Let me get best videos.
He's still gonna argue with you though.
Best videos. What you got for the show?
Wait, 2 cents. That's not
Hold
true.
on. Hold on. It's on best videos.
You were
Best videos. What you got for the show?
Yeah, let me just say this. I agree with y'all when y'all say, in reality, Haney and them, that they're not promoting the fight and they're not putting money up, which is true. But at the end of the day, he's worth more than Rolly. He's made more money than Rolly. So
How do you know that?
How do you know that?
Wait.
How do you know
Come
that?
on. Come on now.
No,
Why?
seriously. How do you know that?
Because he's made more, at least from what we know, what they're saying.
What do you know?
Well,
How do y'all know that?
Okay, when y'all making this argument, how do we know?
No, you made it.
How do you no? Okay, so we can't say based on the reports anymore that a person made more money than another, because y'all can't just tell me. How do you know? Because I don't know. Nobody knows.
So why would you say it?
Well, how do y'all say that anybody made
I
money?
never.
They said?
This manager Marty. I never said that. I
So,
just wanted to know.
Manager Marty, if I said Earl Spence made more money than Rolly, will you agree with that?
Say that again.
If I said Earl Spence,
Yes,
more
because
money
Errol
than
Spence
Rolly,
was outstated.
will you agree with that?
There's evidence of
Yes,
it.
Rolly ain't never.
So what evidence do y'all have that he did that?
Because I'm gonna tell you, because
Okay,
Rolly
go ahead.
Romero, Rolly Romero ain't never headlined no AT&T Stadium 2 or 3 times. I don't know what you talking about. And Devin Haney didn't either.
But he's dealing with Turkey.
Wasn't Devin
He's
Haney
dealing
on
with
Rolly
Turkey.
undercard?
So he
Wasn't
didn't get
Devin
more.
Haney on Rolly
So
undercard?
the money that Haney got from Turkey, y'all just
You don't
ignoring
even
it.
know how much money he got paid from Turkey. That's why you can't make that argument.
Hey, let the guy talk, man.
Hey, listen, I'm just
Shut
going
up,
about
boxing
what
hacker. How you gonna talk about somebody's tongue?
I'm just going about
I thought it was his turn.
what Haney said he made for the fight. So now y'all want him to prove how much he made for the fight.
No, we don't want
We
him to.
we
prove
don't
it.
know. We're assuming Errol Spence made more that he headlined.
No, you're
We're not
assuming.
No.
assuming.
We are
Listen.
assuming.
You
That's
guys are assuming because he headlined these events, he made this amount of money. But you
That's
you don't have any proof either.
Well, y'all be
Yeah.
willing to
We
sign
actually
any
do.
kind of way
Y'all
to
just
sound like
making
y'all
any.
right.
Y'all
Let me
just
say
Okay, we
making.
are
something.
Y'all
assuming, but
just
that's an
making.
assumption.
But see, what I'm
We're not
saying
making
is,
it up.
y'all know that Haney made more money than Rolly, but y'all just trying to act like y'all don't
How
know
do we
because
know
y'all
that?
not.
Hey,
All right,
Terrence, let me
the
say something to
difference
you real
is
quick.
the
Explain.
difference is that guarantees don't reflect value. What that
Thank
the
you. I
business
was about to say
system,
that.
the
Please let me.
business system that Devin Haney adopts does not reflect his value. So what he gets from
Thank
Turkey, he cannot
you.
go to
I
another promoter,
understand that.
and
I
he can.
understand.
If
That's
You're
you
see
right.
what I'm
understood it,
saying.
you would have
So
brought
all
that
right,
up.
You're right.
That's silly.
so what are we
You're
talking
right.
about?
You're absolutely
If you
right.
understood that, you would have brought this up
Hey,
because
No,
Terrence,
it's
I'm
not
not
market.
finished.
Terrence,
I'm
you got to
not finished.
understand that those turkey
I
bucks
didn't
don't
even
mean
get.
Hold
nothing
on,
when
let
you
him
I
come
didn't even
finish.
back.
get
Let
to
him
my main
finish.
point.
Let him finish.
No,
I
let
didn't
Go
us
even
go
get
to
to
ahead,
the
my
next
Terrence.
main
point. I
point.
already
You
killed
would
My
have
that.
never
my
brought
main
this up.
point is this. My main
You don't
point
have
is
a
this.
point, baby.
Let him finish. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My main point is this: is that there's a $6 million in expenses. The difference between Bud had when he made the deal with the PBC, he had control over the expenses. Are they giving Haney the same type of
But ain't
control?
got a control of why the fuck?
He
Why
did
do you
not
need
have control
control
of the
of
expenses. He
expenses
did
you have
not.
to give away?
Because
That's false.
if the expenses is going to affect how much money you get, wouldn't you want to
Bud
have
did
some
not
Okay,
have
control
okay,
over
control of
hold
the
on,
the
hold on.
expenses?
Best
expenses. Just
videos.
made
Let me
up.
ask you a question.
Making up his
Let me
money.
ask you a question. Hold on, y'all. Listen. Best videos. If you've never put on an event, why do you think that you're gonna have control over expenses? How do you know what expenses you need to cut? How would you know that if you've never put on an event?
I mean, I'm sure they can do research and go to other promoters and other events to
Man, you be
try
saying
to
some
figure
dumb
out
shit, nigga.
See,
around
he
figure
making
out
this
how
up
much
anyway.
money
God
this
damn.
should cost. But the bottom line is Bud
Terrence,
did
you do
have that.
realize that don't make no sense, right?
Bud did
Why
not have
doesn't it make
control
sense?
over expenses. He
So
absolutely
so
did
you're
not have
telling me
control of
so
expenses.
you're
Yes,
telling
he
me
was.
if I'm not getting a guarantee, I'm going to be fighting for possibly for free?
Your
Are y'all
guarantee
out of
comes with
y'all
a
mind?
promotional fee.
Y'all out of y'all
Yeah, no,
mind. Y'all
man.
out of y'all.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
don't have
going to
no
get
Yeah,
in
I
the
value,
see the
then it
ring.
is
problem.
what
Like,
it is.
I don't know what people are
Possibly.
talking
Wait,
about
hold
here.
on a second. You're
Like,
asking
Ryan
Haney
Devin
to
made
get in
sense.
a
I don't know why it was
ring
so hard to understand what he was
where
saying.
he might lose his life and not get money.
That's
Y'all
not
really,
true.
Listen,
You
let me
But
say
that's
this.
what
Let me say
y'all
this.
bosses
really,
do.
y'all bugging.
Listen
That's
to
what
this
Y'all
bosses
really
do.
Hold
All
on,
the
bugging.
let me
bosses
listen
respond.
to
do.
that
Hold on,
salt
y'all.
That's
One
what
and
mic, one
Mayweather
mic.
stick.
did.
Hold on, one
Y'all
That's
mic,
what
one
really
mic. Let me
bugging now.
respond. Let me respond.
Y'all
Let me
really.
respond. Let me respond. Let me respond. So you're asking the PBC to lose millions of dollars?
How you know they're gonna
Terrence
lose?
Best videos? Are you asking them to lose money?
How you know they're gonna lose money, 2 Cent?
She ain't even talking to you, bro.
How
Man,
Devin know he's gonna lose money.
Are you
Yeah.
shut
asking
up,
them to
nigga.
take the risk of possibly losing money because to pay Devin whatever he wants? Is that what you're saying they should do? Or
No,
because
Devin.
if they do it the way that they proposed, then nobody loses anything. Both people assume the risk. Both parties assume the risk.
Right.
But that's not what will be happening. Only one party will be assuming. See, this is the thing.
So
Once you get the guarantee, then you just get the guarantee. What's your name said it best? I'm not worried. Andre Ward said it best. I'm not worried about if they make their money back. I don't care as long as I got mine.
yeah.
So because PBC is not willing to work with a fighter with that mentality, that's running around here talking about they bosses and that they're promotional companies. Somehow Devin is a victim and he not getting it. No. Devin is
Nobody
not the
said they're
one that's
victims.
not getting the good deal. Devin is the one that's trying to not give PBC the good deal. I don't know why y'all don't
That,
realize that.
that's not
And
true,
it's and
2 Cent.
listen, if it's not a good deal, it's okay. The only thing that we're acknowledging here is that Devin and Bill, they're not who they have been proclaiming to be. They're just
Facts.
regular ass fighters that's been
Facts.
running around signing deals with promotional companies like a regular
Faking
ass
like a
fighter,
motherfucker.
and they've been
Yep.
fighting. That's what they've been doing. That's the
The,
argument here. The
the
argument
PBC
is
deal is
not
not that
the
good.
boxing hacker. Can you just please?
When
The
did this
point
happen?
is, listen. Why can't y'all accept the reality that Devin Haney is not independent? He's a regular ass fighter that's been running around signing with promotional company after promotional company. Then he started getting welfare from the Saudi Arabian government, and now he's stuck. because the checks have been cut off.
I agree.
And that's hold on. And that's just the reality of the situation. Now, him walking away from the deal because it ain't a good deal for him. Nobody is criticizing him for that. That's cool. If you walk away from the deal but stop trying to make yourself a victim because it's not a good deal.
But based on what Devin Haney has said in the past, he's a duck.
People here are giving him backlash.
He's a duck.
You don't even know if you're gonna get paid.
Yeah, like
hold on, y'all. Let me get this super. Let me get this super chat.
Correct.
Shout out to 1942 Nitro supporting the channel heavy tonight. Shout out to Nitro. He says, so are we saying DHP acts more like a management company than a promotional company since they aren't financing the shows?
I'm saying they act like
they act more like
needy motherfuckers.
like all this like
like never been
promotional companies LLC. Like that's what they are. Like
what's happening is y'all.
It's nothing more. They're not a real promotional company.
What's happening is the gig is up. The gig is up, and I don't know why y'all just can't admit it.
Exposed them 2 years ago.
There's no gig. Listen, somebody made mention about Terrence Crawford not knowing what he was doing when he went into the.
What you say, Mr. Greg?
I was just gonna ask: did Hacker say that DHP promoted the fight with Regis Prograis?
No,
he co-promoted. Wait, you said he co-promoted it?
Yeah.
No, Eddie Hearn did that.
They're co-promoters. You can Google that. It was a co-promotion.
And y'all, do y'all know why Eddie Hearn said the Regis fight was on pay-per-view? Because he had expenses that he needed to cover.
Yeah.
So he had to put the fight on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And they didn't make no back end.
Okay.
No,
and that's the thing. And Roland ain't gonna make no back.
As far as being a promotional company, that's what they are. Like
just opens up a question for them.
It's called Devin Haney Promotions. That's what it is.
They don't promote shit. They don't promote shit.
They were multiple fights.
I think what Boxing Hacker is saying.
Amari Jones was under DHP Promotions first.
Boxing Hacker is saying that they are because they have the paperwork, so they're promotional company in name only. He said the paperwork. He's saying the paperwork says they're a promotional company.
Yeah.
Now, what we're talking about is the actual role, right? So, for example, you can get the role of CEO. Did you do this role of CEO? No. So, in name, are they a promotional company? Yes, in name. Okay. Are they actual promotional company? No, this was a test. Because if they were, we would not have him coming to Twitter all shocked and dismayed by the fact that he has to cover expenses for a boxing event, because that's literally the basic function of a boxing promoter. If you cannot cover the basic role and expectations of a boxing promoter, you're not a true boxing promoter. You're a fraud, and you're a name only. That's what we're saying. So I don't think we need to argue. Boxing is saying that they're a boxing company in name only. We're saying in actuality they're not, because if so, they wouldn't have went to purse bid, and Devin is DHP. DHP could have bid on the fight that Eddie Hearn talked about. Yeah. They would not be shocked. I've never seen Earl come on and cry about, oh my God, they want me to pay part of the expenses. I've never seen GTD Promotions complain when I've seen his name on a flyer complain about part of the expenses. Yeah. That's the basic duties of a promoter.
Yeah.
When you're crying about the basic duties of a promoter, you're not truly a promoter. You're just kind of like posing as one. So yes, in name, they're a promoter. In reality, it's kind of fraudulent, and that's why they're in this situation.
So yeah,
hold on. Boxing Hacker, can you read the screen for me, please?
Yeah. It says Ahern of Matching Boxing Pro, the Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis fight, right? So put in the same thing. Say, was Devin Haney, was DHP?
Hold on, how you gonna gloss over?
I just wanted to say it because you just.
But he glossed
over.
It's
an AI response, right? So
he's gonna argue, maybe.
Was David Haney? Remember when I said that Hacker? Remember when I said, "Hey,
that's all you gotta do."
But remember when I diagnosed Hacker? Remember when I diagnosed Hacker a few months ago, and I said that he's the only person. that when you
That's
present
all.
him with the truth, that he's the only liar
just
that when you
ask
present
for
him with the
AI, right?
truth,
If AI
he's gonna
responds.
find another lie to jump behind.
No, I'm
And
not.
then,
I'm
so
telling her
what he
type it.
does is like he portrays like he's innocent, but he really an evil motherfucker.
Boxing
Because no
Hacker, I
matter
don't
how
know if
much
you know that
honesty
that's
you
like
put
a
in front of him,
psychopathic trait.
he's gonna
I don't know
find
if
some
you know
other
that.
evil
Google it.
shit
You're
to
on
jump
Google right now.
behind.
Psychopath.
Listen, this is funny.
He don't believe in the
He's a
truth, bro.
Was Devin Haney Promotions a co-promoter to the Regis Pro versus Devin Haney fight?
How many bodies in the backyard,
Let me
Hacker?
see if I'm right or wrong. Let me see if I'm right or wrong. This is a
Hey,
funny,
look,
funny
nah,
video.
I just want to know, like, yo, what, like I said, if they're a promotional company, what's the counter offer?
How much
And
money
We
do
not,
you
don't
and
know
not
that.
want?
only
We don't
did
know
Jupe
that.
look, because Jupe just touched on something. Not only does not Errol Spence, not Tank Davis, and none of them complain about the back end
Co-promotion, side promotion,
or
Devin
no
Haney
guarantees
Promotions.
up
You
front.
see
But
that
look,
part right there, 2 Cent?
hold on. The
Main
PBC,
promoter match.
remember when we said earlier
Devin Haney.
that Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney, see, because he liked to bring Terrence Crawford and
Hold on.
Devin Haney
2 Cent,
up.
make that bigger. I want to read
And
that
they're
now.
motherfucker. Hey yo, he like I said, he likes to bring up Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney and relate them to their bad dealings with the PBC.
Told you,
Now, I
2 Cent.
find it funny that the PBC is responsible for a number of the largest paydays that a lot of fighters have received.
By
You talk
far.
about from the you talking about the Mayweather era,
By
and
far.
not just Mayweather. It's plenty fighters underneath Floyd's name that got their biggest paydays from the PBC. I'm wondering why is so much fear involved. I think
They didn't put
fear.
any money up for this event, Boxing Hacker. That's why
2 Cent.
Eddie Hearn.
All
Listen.
I say he was a
Listen. They didn't put any money up for the event. That's why Eddie Hearn was saying people want to run around and act like they promoters, but all they want to do is get their name on the banner, and they don't want to put up any money. Which is why. Which is why. So
And
hold
look,
on. So you're only proving our
further,
point even more, Boxing Hacker. I don't even know why you brought that up as an
All I
example.
said, I didn't
That's
say that.
another
I just
example
said
of him
promoter.
not being.
You see it right
promoter.
there.
Can I talk?
So
I think we
look, why?
agree.
Oh,
I
hold
think
up,
we
real quick.
agree
Let me finish my
that
question though.
Can I talk?
is
Come
a
on, man.
promoter in name, not in action, and that's
He
why
was
when
a
it's time to do
co-promoter
the
of the
action,
event.
he can't do it.
Look,
We
can
agree.
you
Eddie Hearn
see?
said he wanted his name
Can
on
I
it.
talk?
Eddie
Can
Hearn
you
said
read
he
that?
never put any money up, so we know
It doesn't.
he didn't do
Hold
the
up,
actual
Rick.
I don't
role.
even know what happened
Can I
with money.
talk?
All I'm telling you is, was he a co-promoter? Yes. You look
In
at it on the
name,
screen.
yes. In name,
No,
yes.
in the
work,
event.
no.
In the
In
event.
work,
Boxing
no.
Hacker. Boxing Hacker.
In the
Boxing
event.
Hacker.
In work,
Boxing
no. He
Hacker.
didn't.
Hold
Listen.
on, Juke. Hold on, Juke.
Come
Boxing
on.
Hacker. Were you in a classroom with like 4 students and 3 teachers?
I still can read that, 2 Cent. Listen. The Devin Haney versus Regis program fight, which took place in December 9, 2023, was promoted by Eddie Hearn Matchroom Boxing, right? Main promoter was Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn. Co-promoter / side was Devin Haney Promotions, led by
We
Devin
agree.
and Bill
In
Haney.
name.
Thank you.
In
No,
name.
it
Okay,
doesn't. No,
that's
they were
Boxing
co-promoted.
Hacker.
No.
Hold
It
on,
doesn't say
Juke.
his
Hold
name.
on, Juke.
Y'all just
Juke.
making things up. Let's
Boxing
stop
Hacker.
making things
We're not
up.
making
Boxing
things
Hacker.
up. We said in
Hold
name.
on,
It's right in
Juke.
front of
Hold
you.
on.
I can't
Boxing Hacker, can you listen, please? The argument is not about if it says if they're a co-promoter. The argument is if they're putting the money up. I don't know what you're not understanding.
do it.
Boxing
TGB is not
Hacker.
putting money up either.
Yes, they
Yes,
are.
they are.
No, PBC is.
Prove that they're not. Yes, they
What
are.
are you talking about? You just,
yo.
Devin Haney
PBC
broke it
name was
down.
not.
They're getting money from the
PBC name was
PBC.
not
Both
on those ring
TGB
cards.
and Devin Haney are
GTB
gonna
was.
get 50-50 after $6 million. It's not rocket science. No,
Oh,
TGB is not
man.
putting up money. They're getting the. They're getting.
Boxing
then
Hacker,
whatever that
please
name
don't
was on
ever
the
go into
flyer.
business.
PBC name was on the flyer. GTB
Yeah,
was.
he gonna lose all his
Yo,
money.
Wait. PBC is not a promotional company. Okay.
I know.
Then
GTB
what
is.
you saying?
Yeah.
Well, why you bringing up PBC? We ain't bring
PBC
up
is not a
PBC.
promotional
You
company.
did.
So the entity of PBC is the one funding the fight, right?
No, GTB is.
no, they not.
No, PB.
Not
No,
Devin's promotional
no.
company.
No.
Yes.
GTB is putting up the money,
No.
not PBC.
$6 million, and then the 50-50 is gonna go between DHP.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what business is.
You know what part? You know what the? You know what?
More
Hold on. You know what
What are you
the
talking
Boxing
about?
Hacker? Boxing Hacker. Do you know
Yeah.
how much it costs to put on a boxing event?
It depends on the event. It's relative.
How much?
right?
Like
So
how much you think it costs?
it's relative to the event. I can't give you a number.
Average. What's the average amount?
It's relative to the event. Events are big.
Give
and
me
small.
an average amount, Boxing Hacker. You can give an average or a range.
How
Give me
much
an average or a range.
What kind of event? A big event, small event. What are we
Give
talking
me an average or a range comparable to
How
Devin
much
Haney
the bitch ass
versus
Devin
Rolly.
Haney
about?
worth?
Okay. Average or a range, right? From 6,000 to 100 million.
Wow. Come on.
What are we talking about? I don't know. Like it's relative to the event.
Man, get
So
this
it's
nigga
like
out of
how
here.
much?
That's true, right?
What's
Like,
the fucking
all
number
day
that
and
you would put
night,
on this
man.
fight? What's the
What
number
could
that
be
you would put on
about this
Devin versus
all
like,
Rolly?
it could be anything. It could be a
What's
small
the
event,
number
it
that you would
could
put
be-
on Devin versus Rolly? How much was that fight worth?
What's the number I put on?
Okay, so why do you keep saying $6 million like it's a lot since if you don't know?
So no, I'm saying that Devin's main problem.
Why do
is
you
that,
keep saying $6 million like it's a lot if you don't know?
well, $6 million? $6 million is paying what they said they pay. That's not the whole event. I don't understand.
Why do you keep saying you have to pay $6 million? Why do you keep saying that like it's a lot of money if you don't know?
So this is why
You're not even.
Let me answer your
Listen,
question.
you know you haven't even heard my question because you keep talking over me.
All right, go ahead.
You
What's your
keep
question?
saying $6 million, and then he came. It's not just you. Bill Haney came out and said the expenses was $6 million, and everybody started running around crying about $6 million as if they know how much it costs to put on a boxing event. You don't. $6 million could be cheap.
Yeah.
How do people know? So they crying about. Y'all don't even know how much a boxing event costs. You still talking when I'm talking and not listening. There's no way you're listening if you're talking. There's no way you're listening if you're talking. I don't know nobody that can do both. So my point is, people keep trying to throw this $6 million out there to this woe is me. I'm a victim. They want me to cover half of $6 million as if they know that that's a lot to put on a boxing event. So you keep saying $6 million as if it's a lot of money, and I'm asking, why do you keep doing that?
Do you mind if I answer? You want your? I think your computer broke up too. So can you hear me?
We don't want to hear you.
I'll respond while you fix it. So So I'm only explaining what Devin said. So like this whole thing is about Devin's side.
Why is everything about what Devin said?
Wait, because we were
Hacker,
I don't
you've
know why
been
y'all
talking about this shit for 2 hours, man.
Just ask me a question. You guys always want to start crying when you hear the other side. I don't know why.
We don't want to hear you repeat yourself over and over again, bro.
It's not the fact that the
Shut up.
It's not about this. The problem isn't the 6 million being too much, right? The main problem that Devin pointed out that he depicted was that it's all so PBC is controlling everything. So like
you already said this again.
2 Cents asking me the question. I'm answering a question. Can I answer a question? Without you dropping tears. So the main problem is that like Devin, like he has to wholeheartedly trust PBC will do right by the numbers. And
You're all right, man. You said this already, man. Cool.
So that's why. So people aren't crying about the 6 million.
But my thing is that everybody else has done that. Everybody else has done that with the PBC. Why is it a problem when we come to Crawford and Devin doing it, which is their biggest paydays? These are some of their most lucrative paydays.
It's not their biggest.
Why the fuck? Oh, hold on. Say what?
Crawford's biggest payday was
Haney coming from where?
Crawford's biggest payday was a motherfucking Spence. You know what I'm saying? It was Spence prior to Canelo, set him up with the Canelo fight, and he had these same negotiation problems. Why would a motherfucker who never made no real money have problems when real money is being offered by a sound fucking company who makes real promotion, who makes real good deals? The same niggas who handle Mayweather.
Yeah.
Why are they having problems dealing with these scary motherfuckers who never made no money by themselves?
And Mayweather also say he felt like he got robbed by a PBC right now.
So, you talking about right now because Mayweather, because he had badass investments, and we know everybody else is suing this motherfucker right now. Never mind Floyd's mismanagement with his motherfucking money. We can look at a million reasons why he's broke right now.
You use him as an example. Now you don't want to use him as an example.
No. My point, I was really talking about the PBC and the fact that they cut him that money. The money wasn't fake. The money was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it ain't there now because of whatever the fuck Floyd did with it, that's on them. The point is that they have put on the biggest fights in boxing consistently. Okay. So how come when we're dealing with this, with these 2 individuals who have never had no big names, no big events until they came to the PBC?
Yeah.
Why is it a problem with negotiations all of a sudden with them?
They don't like the deal that
Just these
PBC was
two.
presenting.
When everybody else has been getting paydays with people with lesser names has been doing business with these motherfuckers just fine.
Yeah. So the two didn't like the what PBC was offering. It's
Yeah, all right, bro. You said that already.
It's very simple.
Let someone else talk, nigga. You ain't saying nothing new.
Right? Remember one thing about Terrence Crawford.
Man, I don't even know why.
Someone else talk, bro. You ain't saying nothing new,
about
man.
Terrence Crawford, right?
Man, stop talking about blood. Stop talking about
and they're doing way better.
God damn, this nigga annoying as fuck.
Okay,
man.
I want to say this: like he's recycled the same talking points
Over and over and over.
hours to every. Even when you
y'all want to hear, listen,
he just recycles the same things. Let me just say one thing. He said that's an absolute lie. Mayweather is not suing PBC. That's something we make. He said that. That's an absolute lie. So once you start lying, nothing else you say matters. No, he's not suing PBC. He didn't say PBC robbed him. He's suing particularly. He's trying to sue the network. And even if you read that information from there, it's mostly saying, "Oh, it's just I ain't gonna get into it." He's not suing PBC. He's not suing Al Heyman. So him trying to leverage that lawsuit against the people he's not suing, right there, let me know Boxing Hacker is like a blatant liar and will just say anything. And that's why he's keep recycling these same talking points over and over again. You see how I'm saying something?
Let her talk, Hacker. Shut up, nigga. Let her talk.
You've been talking all day. You said the same thing. You have no new ideas. You're fresh out. Sleep on it. Get some new shit tomorrow. You failed.
You're making shit up. I never say he was getting super.
It's over.
Okay, Boxing Hacker. Okay, hold on, Drew. Let me ask Boxing Hacker a question real quick. And then we got Blue. I'm gonna drop the link. Let Blue Hustle Man come up here and get his bars off. But Boxing Hacker, why do you think that? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why do you think that the PBC is not going to show you your numbers and your paperwork if they gave him the expenses to begin with?
So it's not for me to feel that way, right? I'm just presenting what Devin Haney said. Like it's like the only thing. My problem.
Okay, that's the answer. Then that's the answer.
Yeah,
okay, I got you. All right, Blue Hustle Man, what you got for the show?
I present the argument that's being held instead of making it up. Like,
shut up, nigga.
It's over with.
Okay. What you got, Blue Hustle Man?
What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing?
What's good?
What's up, everybody in the chat and the people listening? What's good? No, I just came up here just to hear what's going on, and then I'll drop my little 2 cents in a little bit. Just trying to keep up with the topic because I really don't know, y'all. It's kind of all over the place right now.
Well, we're gonna see what's gonna go up. We're literally watching the landscape of American boxing change right in front of our eyes. And I don't know why people y'all really sitting up here acting like y'all don't see it now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years from now, when y'all complaining about black fighters and how it ain't fair and they ain't getting this and they ain't getting that, I don't want to hear it. Because when it was the black fighters that was at the top of the game, everybody was doing everything they could possibly do to tear it down and break it up and hate on it. It just didn't make any sense.
Yep.
And that you done 2 cents? Those turkey bucks did not help these guys, just like you said a long time ago. Like these big amounts of money they supposedly got from Turkey, they can't take that to the negotiation table and think that's gonna hold no weight. It doesn't.
The money they made doesn't hold weight. But
That shit's an anomaly, man. Shut up, nigga. I'm not talking to your idiot ass, man.
Come on, Cash. Come on. We're going to be a little bit more respectful.
My bad. I can't stand this nigga, man.
The event they were in holds weight. Maybe you can't say the money value doesn't hold weight.
The amount of money that Turkey paid them, they don't hold no weight when they go to. Shut up, nigga. Let me finish my statement. It doesn't hold no weight when they go to a real negotiation. Once them Turkey bucks are in flames and it's over with Turkey.
Facts.
That's if it becomes inflamed, right?
You the only one that don't understand, man. You and Terrence Best videos
completely, but
you both were in that class that 2 cents talking about with 3 teachers, and you rode the short bus, man. So be quiet, man.
You should roll the short bus. You should roll it in the back seat, bro. If that's
they got this helmet on now.
So
don't hurt your head. Don't bend too far over to the left.
Yeah, but the event's gonna hold weight. Like if he was in a big event, a Turkey event,
just be quiet, man. Be quiet.
It's that simple.
I think it's just a thing. It's a matter of self-value. If a fighter has actual value, then he can adopt that system that the PBC was offering with no problem. You know, and even for fighters who don't like, this ain't a system like it's not just it's not just something that's for big payday fights. Like, I feel like the 6 million or whatever discrepancy they're trying to create is no anomaly whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are just trying to make a scene out of something, and the only reason why it's an issue is because they couldn't recoup that money no other way. Why would Devin talk about what Rolly hasn't made in a fight? He ain't discussed none of his motherfucking numbers. So if that's the case, dog, what is the number that it takes for you, and what can you put up as your own promoter if you are that? What the fuck can you put up when you get a bad deal or anything that don't go your way?
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird that people can't keep saying this. Like,
man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. I didn't say that for you to respond.
Has been unskillful to other people. He will do what suits him, and we will do what suits us. If you don't pledge your loyalty to us, if we don't have an obligation to lose money on your fights, we're not going to be queuing up to do so. Do I want to lose $1 million on Devin Haney against Sandor Martin? No, thank you very much. I will do if I have a contractual obligation and you've pledged your loyalty towards me. Devin Haney also has Devin Haney Promotions, who, you know, it's all very nice having your logo on a backdrop, but are you prepared to stick your money and your balls on the line? The answer, as we saw, was no. So nothing personal. I mean, I like Devin and I'll try and help him and I'll work with him where I can. But at the end of the day, I'm not just going to lose money on a show when you're not with me. We have no contractual obligation to Devin Haney. Just like he has a free agent and has been and is talking to other people, he will do what suits him and we will do what suits us. If you don't pledge your loyalty to us, if we don't have an obligation to lose money on your fights, we're not going to be queuing up to do so. Do I want to lose $1 million on Devin Haney against Sandor Martin? No, thank you very much. I will do if I have a contractual obligation and you've pledged your loyalty towards me. Devin Haney also has Devin Haney Promotions, who, you know, it's all very nice having your logo on a backdrop, but are you prepared to stick your money and your balls on the line? The answer, as we saw, was no. So nothing personal. I mean, I like Devin and I'll try and help him and I'll work with him where I can. But at the end of the day, I'm not just going to lose money on a show when you're not with me.
Cooked again. I get it. I get it. Now.
That's cool.
Cooked
again. There's no problem with that.
You want to be promoting that name, but not indeed.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, the problem. I see.
And you the only one that don't understand it.
No, it says
so
it's
boxing,
a
so
it
no,
makes
hold
sense.
on.
I don't get it.
So boxing hacker.
Yeah.
The problem is that he is.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get this super chat. Shout out to Gap2 Games with the $4.99 in the super chat. He says, for dealing with hacker, you have the patience only a mother could achieve. A hacker is someone only a mother could love. Shout out Gap2 Games.
He got the face only a mother could love too.
You always say some wild, weird shit, bro. Anyway.
Oh shit!
You's an ugly nigga, bro. You ugly nigga.
Yeah, I'm not,
you ugly nigga, bro.
No, you ugly in spirit, man. You an evil motherfucker, yo. You try to play nice, man. But you a sick dude, bro.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on, please. Now, hacker, I kind of see what's going on, and you were saying this last time. You know, on a panel before. Yeah. The issue is that Devin and Bill, they don't believe in themselves. They know they're not a draw.
That's not the issue.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's exactly the issue, and that's what you don't want to say.
Listen to me. Hold on. No. Boxing hacker. Let me finish, and then you can rebuttal anything you want to, my friend.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Now, that is the issue. Now, when you have, like, Eddie Hearn just made it very clear, he's been burnt by, not burnt, but he's been basically taken advantage of by Devin. You see what I'm saying? That's why he said he wants a multi-fight deal, because he doesn't want to put up money and he just get basically fucked. It's already been in a situation where Devin has basically went through, talked about him, everything like that. So here's the situation. You have a person that says he's the best, you know, he's a face of boxing. He's the best fighter in the game,
Yeah.
He fights everybody. He's Debo.
Okay.
You know, he ain't scared of nothing. But you know, the simple fact is, if this is true, you should be able to bet on yourself. If you are a draw, let's say for instance, Tank. Tank don't need a guarantee because he is a draw. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Devin's like, man, you ain't giving me nothing, but he is giving something. He still was offered, if I'm correct, he was offered 1.2 as a guarantee, and to him that wasn't enough. You see what I'm saying? He wants more money. Now, if you're supposed to be a great fighter, why are you turning down the Keyshawn Davis fight? Why are you turning down the Ryan Garcia fight because he said A side? If Turkey's involved, there's no A side situation. It's you get your money, this person gets their money. There's no discussing the money issue.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But the problem is you have PBC putting the money up for Rolly, and then they like, well, shit, you your own promotional company, and you saying you don't like this, you put your money up.
Yeah.
Your company should be able to back you.
Okay.
So that's what it all
So
boils
do you
down
mind if I
to.
rebuttal what you said?
And this is for anybody else.
Yeah,
I'm done.
no, I just want to rebuttal what you said real quick, right?
You're right. You're 100% right, man.
You're throwing all over the place. So let's start off with this whole like not betting on yourself. You're assuming he's not betting on himself. That's not what Devin said. Devin said why he doesn't want to take the signed PVC deal. You can reread it. People don't want me to repeat it. You can reread it. He explains why he didn't want to take PVC. It's not about betting on himself whatsoever. As far as what Eddie Hearn was saying is that, hey, Eddie Hearn is right. There's no problem with what he said. Like, hey, Devin doesn't want to sign with me for a doesn't want to sign with me, so why do I have to like go to bat for him? Which is fair. Matchroom's their own thing. It's a fair searching, right? But guess what? If Ahern actually didn't find no value in Devin, he wouldn't want to sign with him at all, right? Like if we're just being 100% logical, right? If I see zero value in a fighter, because Eddie Hearn has turned away fighters. Let's not forget that. Eddie Hearn has not signed fighters before. If he found no value in Devin, he wouldn't try to do no business. He wouldn't even say like, hey, you have to sign with me. Why does he have to sign with you if you see no value though?
Well, that's the thing.
Let's keep that in mind. Let's just keep that in mind.
I think
so the whole question about like whether Devin bets on himself or whatever. He's doing business. In business, like, hey, if I don't like the deal.
That's not an argument. He don't bet on himself, bro.
You don't have to.
There's no argument there. There's no argument there.
And like I said,
if DHP want to,
you don't have to.
It's an assumption. Devin
Haney
need to start. What you guys are doing is assuming something different. He explained why he wasn't signing the PVC.
Hold on, let me get this cash app. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $5 in the cash app. He says 2 cents. Juke, Blue Hustle Man, Cash Crypto, unbelievable. That Be More Bully, Doug Devin Haney. Oh yeah, I dug Devin Haney this morning. Hacker, right? Shout out Big Dog Willie.
Okay, you weird. Anyway.
All right, y'all. We about to wrap it up because I am 38 minutes past my time. I didn't even want to cut everybody off because we was having such a good conversation. But we're gonna go around the panel, give everybody about 90 seconds to get their final 2 cents off. Shout out Big Dog Willie with the $5 in the super chat. We're gonna go around the panel. If you haven't already, be sure to punch that like button. You got a few more minutes to get your super chats in. So if you haven't super chatted already or hit the cash app, you got about a couple more minutes to go ahead and get that in. We wrapping it up. It's the last call for cash apps and super chats. Be More Bully, what's your final 2 cents? About 90 seconds. What you got for the show?
My final 2 cents is this. 1 cent. Oh man, it's insanity sometimes with Hacker. Well, a lot of the times with Hacker. The bottom line is this. If Devin Haney and Bill Haney want to function as a true bona fide promotional company and not just something that they write down that they got an LLC on, they're going to have to start flipping the bill in order for Devin Haney to get a fight. Plain and simple. They're going to have to start flipping the bill and taking some of the costs, because no company in their right mind It's going to do business like they do business. Or like Turkey out the Sheep did business. And I land my plane there.
All right. Shout out B More Bully. Cash Crypto, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah. Sweet everybody that was here. We got bosses and we got fake bosses. Like David likes to call them B-side bitches, man. And Devin Haney he's the slogan boy for them B-side bitches, man. Like he had a chance to finally get some residuals from a fight that he did. 50%. Nigga didn't have to put up no money. All he had to do was sign the goddamn contract that the Haney fans keep talking about. Send the contract. Well, we sent one, and these niggas ducked, man. Like Devin looking like a whole hoe out here, man. That's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.
Shout out to Cash Crypto in the building. Best videos. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, a couple things, just 2 points. First of all, you asked how much this event is probably going to cost. I don't think they're going to do much promotion for Haney and Rolly. So I think it'd probably be around 4.5 million. So y'all, you can see right there that only leaves 1.5. And at pay-per-views, they might do 150 if they're lucky, 175. That's damn near break even. So Haney would be a fool to take that deal without a guarantee. Now, is it partly because he's not a draw and Rolly's not a draw? Yeah, that's true. But the promoters typically take the hit when an event doesn't fail. When it fails, whether it's entertainment, music, or anything, the performers don't take the hit. It's the promoters. So that's why I say the promoters, if the fight doesn't make sense, they just shouldn't make the event. That's the point. The second point I want to make is with Juke. Juke said that Hacker's a liar. Well, Hacker might not be telling it that he didn't sue Al Heyman directly, but indirectly he did sue him. And I want her to explain how that's not the case. If Showtime is saying that they gave Al the money and Al did not give the money to Mayweather, yeah, Mayweather didn't technically sue Al, but indirectly he did sue Al. So that's disingenuous for her to try to say that he didn't get sued, because she knows effectively he did. And that's all I got to say. Thanks for having me.
All right. Blue Hustle Man, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Oh well, I came in late. I seen you was live, so I just hopped up on there. I guess so far a great live. So appreciate you for letting me hop on the panel, and pretty sure you went over some nice topics. So that's what's up too, also. And
yeah, hit that replay.
Yeah, most definitely hit the like button, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like you said, last round for cash apps and super chats. So make that happen, y'all.
All right, shout out Blue Hustle Man. Thank you for coming up. Boxing Hacker, 90 seconds. What's your final?
Yo, 2 seconds. Can I be last? Do you mind?
All right. Sin, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey man, it's crazy. Look, first and foremost, I think that you really opened up. I wish we could have really touched more on the subject that you started off with them replacing, with Turkey and a lot of outside entity kind of compromising American boxing right now, because that's really what's been going on for quite some time. And I could say the time when I noticed it happening, but I ain't even gonna open up that can of worms right now. But however, I think it's very evident that it seems like they're really trying to give us a lot of mediocrity. And then in addition to that, the fighters that we're talking about, the situation that we addressed tonight with Devin Haney being a fake promoter, not having a counter offer, negotiations just falling through, and all of that nonsense, and probably one of his most lucrative fights and most lucrative opportunities in his career. I think that it's just funny that with these snack fighters, or just with the, when you offer a certain caliber of fighters these big paydays, all of a sudden they get nervous and negotiations get shaky around companies and promotion and promoters that generally have good reputations for putting on big fights. So I don't know what makes these guys so big to cause these type of difficulties, but that's the world that we in today. I want y'all to realize, if y'all hear this on the playback, y'all remember that we are talking about world-class boxers of today. This is how pathetic the landscape is, that we used to not talk about champions like this. We used to not be able to associate these boxing champions with fear. And unfortunately, with the talents, with the talent pool that we have today, this is what we're dealing with. Sad day in boxing. And I think I'm gonna stop right there. I appreciate you having me, 2 Cent. You already know it's always a pleasure.
All right, seeing Ironheart, appreciate you. Thanks for coming up on the panel. Mr. Greg, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Let me be quickly. First, the lawsuit that got mentioned. When you file a lawsuit, everybody gets included initially until you clear out who actually is going to get sued. So I had to disagree with, I believe that was Terrence Best's video. There was not a direct lawsuit against Al Heyman. If he was going to be named in the lawsuit, he would have been in the lawsuit that's currently being filed, being pushed, going forward toward the courts. But normally you just grab everybody and then you sort out who's going to get sued and who's not. And I kind of think that might have happened, or he was never going to be sued in the first place. So leave that alone. If you're going to be in business, your name is your name. How you do business, who you do business with, and how effective you do business goes forward. If you cannot do business, you don't need to be on the playing field because you're in the way. As a promoter, regardless of what kind of event it is, you have to come to the table understanding there's expectations that you should have, and there's money that should be on the table. Most of the time, who you're going to table with kind of know what your reputation is. They'll see if you come differently, and if you don't, they don't be bothered with you. Each time that you have to leave one table to go to another, that reputation of not doing good business follows you, and suddenly you have no place else to go. And I believe that's where Devin is now. No other place to go other than possibly Zuffa, and they may even mess that up. In terms of it being a promoter, Devin's probably got a promotional fee. That's legitimate. He probably got a fee without doing any work. But if he wants to be a real promoter, you have to put money on the table, just like Eddie said. You're gonna put up some money, then you're in the game. If you're not, you stand on the sideline, you take what we give you. If you can't handle the expenses, you don't need to be even at the table in the first place talking about, I don't like this. You have no trust of whoever you're going to do business with. You had no business at the table with them in the first place, because suddenly you look like you can't be trusted and that you're not doing good business. I will leave that for now. I'd hope that we got a chance to talk about some of the other things as well, but we got, once again, way laid into this, but this is 2 Cents After Dark, and so I can accept that. I will land there because I don't want to take up too much more time, because I think Juke will probably have some good things to say, and I'm not sure what Hack is going to say, but we'll see. And I'll say good night from there.
Shout out to Mr. Greg coming on, getting his 2 cents. Listen, y'all come back for ladies' night. Y'all will be able to call into the show. We can continue the conversation, because I think the conversation about the shift that they're trying to make in American boxing, I think that's a really good conversation to have. A lot of people like, oh, I just want to see the fights. I just want to see the fights. But it's been deeper than that, and it's been deeper than that this whole time. Juke, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, okay. So I want to start by, I think it was Terrence Best Videos, who said I was being disingenuous about the Mayweather lawsuit. I'm not being disingenuous. You saying that he was mentioned in a lawsuit. He did not sue anyone PBC or anyone from PBC. And maybe, it's not me being disingenuous. It's just you going by hearsay and not reading. So let me just read really quickly the response from Showtime. It says that Mayweather LLC is the designated promoter and party to individual distribution applicable to Mayweather fights under the agreement. In these agreements, Mayweather Promotions agreed to and did provide instructions to Showtime for payment of the event promoter share of the proceeds agreed to engage and pay all fighters, including Mayweather. Okay, I don't want to waste my time reading more of it, but basically, in conclusion, it's basically saying, hey, Mayweather Promotions, and this is what I talk about being a promotional company. You have way more power.
Hold on, Juke. Boxing Hacker, they hit me in the Cash App to boot you off, Boxing Hacker. At the end of the show, they paid the bounty. Come back next time, Boxing Hacker.
See, he should have went
Friday night, ladies' night.
He should have went first.
Shout out to Sin Ironheart with the $25 in the Cash App. Shout out to Sin Ironheart with the support to the channel. Damn, they paid the bounty at the end. Wow.
He should. I had a feeling he should have went when you called him initially. But yeah, so according to the lawsuit I'm reading, they're saying, hey, the contract says that all payments went through him because he was the promoter. You remember during Mayweather fights, it was Mayweather Promotions. And this kind of ties into the whole discussion today about being a promoter. Mayweather was actually a promoter. So they're saying, hey, we paid, we sent all monies, everything in the way you had access to do it. Every person under the contract, including yourself. So, and I think I sent this to you. I think me and you and Key talked about this very briefly. I'll resend it to you. It's kind of like briefly like Showtime's response. Basically like, hey, we did exactly what was in our contract to do. You are the promoter. You're responsible for payment, right? You got the check, right? So that's what the response is generally. So I'm not being disingenuous. I'm being honest. They're not sued. He's claiming, oh, this person got it. At the end of the day, they're saying the money's went to you. I don't know how true it is. We'll find out. When it comes to this whole discussion and kind of what Boxing Hacker said, Eddie Hearn, I don't think anyone's making the argument that Devin Haney is not worth anything. I think something that they do as an argument, particularly Boxing Hacker, is go to the extremes, right? Oh, you're saying he's not worth anything. We're not saying he's not worth anything. We're saying that you're not a revenue producer to the point where you can negotiate and demand things like a Canelo or Tank Davis. That's what we're saying. You're definitely worth something. I think a lot of boxing promoters would love to have you. The problem is that you've been through a lot of the boxing promoters and you had a problem with each one. You accused each one of a problem. At the end of the day, you're the common denominator with these problems. You had a problem with Bob Arum. You had a problem with Top Rank and Bob Arum. You had a problem with Eddie Hearn. You beef right now. You're cool with Turkey, but he's kind of like your last limb. You kind of threw shots at.
You tried to sue Golden Boy.
Right. Oh yeah, Golden Boy. You literally had problems with everybody. At some point, you have to figure out who's the common denominator. We've seen Canelo work with everybody. Only person he ever had an issue with was Golden Boy, who I can understand that because they had a long relationship. That doesn't happen often. People can leave on good terms. You tend not to leave on good terms. So at some point, we got to say, okay, there's an issue here. And it's not that you're not worth anything, but are you more trouble than what you're worth? For example, Tank Davis is always in trouble. He has legal issues. We all know about it. But people are willing, PBC is willing to take the risk because of the revenue he produces, right? Netflix was like, here, they knew the drama he got. They were like, hit his money. And so I'm saying, that's not saying I'm not saying it's moral or not. I'm not here to be the moral compass. But I'm saying is that you can't beef out with every promoter you ever come in contact with, especially when you're also not producing the revenue. Like you can't be a headache and not produce revenue. Like you can't do both. You got to pick a struggle. And so that's all we're saying. And it's crazy to me that shouldn't even be a conversation because as a promoter, that's the basics of the job. That's the basic of the job. If you're gonna come into a promoter, you have to pay some. And what's crazy, they keep saying we couldn't trust PBC. He literally told us that PBC came to him up front and showed him all the expenses up front. So they didn't hide anything from him. They didn't try to disclose anything. They showed him up front. He could have, because he's a promoter, right? He could have done Mr. Marty was saying, he could have done the legwork. He could have went out and figured out how much it would cost to hold a stadium or an arena. He could have put the money up to hold it. He could have put, contacted a marketing company. He could have paid for the insurance and all the upfront fee. He could have done all that. You're a promoter, but you didn't. So if you think that $6 million is too much and you don't want to split that, fine. Show us how you can do it better. If you can cut that $6 million to $4 million, get to the legwork and show me how you can produce this fight for a lesser cost. But he didn't do that because he can't do that. That's the problem. People want to say what's what. No one complains more than the person who don't do the labor. That's in every situation. The people who complain the most do the least labor. And as a promoter, people kept saying, oh, well, maybe he didn't think it would make as much money. Well, that's why you're the promoter. You have the power to promote it so it will make as much money. That's why you're the promoter. Your other job besides financing the event and organizing the event is marketing the event. So now you get to market the event in a way that you guarantee you can get the revenue back, right? That's what your job is, but that's a lot of work. That's labor. It's not as easy as just sticking your name on a flyer.
Facts.
And so he had the control to promote it to make sure he had a lot of leeway. PBC said, fine, you're a promoter, we're gonna give you leeway. He saw the responsibility, he saw the price tag and said, whoa, I can't do this. And then claimed that they were crazy. You just not who you say you are. Accept that, be a fighter and do your thing. And that's all I got. Y'all have a good night.
Shout out to Juke coming up here cooking. All right, y'all, listen, it's late. I ain't got no long outro tonight. I'm tired. Who gonna give me that cup of coffee in the morning? Get the cash app, buy your girl a cup of coffee, even though I ain't had coffee in about 3 weeks because I had to, I'm taking my little caffeine break. But I'm an hour past time. I'm for sure gonna need that coffee in the morning. But shout out to everybody that joined me in the chat. Last call for super chats and cash app, $2 boxing. Or let me know and drop it below. If you're listening to the replay, hit the heart with the $. And just leave a special thanks below and let me know that you enjoy the content. Y'all enjoy listening to these replays. Shout out to everybody that got on the panel tonight. Manager Marty, Mr. Greg, Juke, Boxing Hacker, Sin Ironheart, David Lynch, Blue Hustle Man. Did I miss anybody? I think that's everybody. I think I remembered everybody. I'll be live again Friday night, ladies night, cause it's ladies night. Y'all know how I go down. And we're definitely gonna pick up more on that topic about the Tyson Fury Conor Benn co-main event. Like what in the UK boxing? And then you got Ben Whitaker on Jaron Boots Ennis undercard. Eddie Hearn keep slick. But listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, cussing you out, timing you out the chat, leaving you in the background, muting you while you trying to talk, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.